Race is on.
From outer space.
Hopefully my shitty mic won't be too distracting.
That looks good. Looks good. Sounds good.
You don't have to lie to me. I already know it sounds terrible.
I almost
We
can't
went
even
over it
understand you.
already.
It's so bad.
Yeah.
Speaking English?
I'm just fucking with you.
It doesn't sound that bad on the
Yeah.
stream, I don't think. But yeah.
You guys know how to charm a guy.
It's
All right,
okay,
guys.
baby.
Welcome back. The Penultimate Power Hour, the latest title this week.
Has this many shows ever lined up with the penultimate episode before? This is
I don't think so. It's a pretty
crazy,
Sure.
man. It's a
yeah,
lot.
pretty big week.
Yeah.
Now, which shows will stick the landing is the question, though. I
That's
mean,
the
Yeah.
big one. Yeah.
That's true. I don't know.
wondering.
Personally, I think all three probably. Well,
They have it in them that they could
Yeah.
do it.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
But
Which
the-
one
I don't
are
want to
you
jinx
banking
all
on
of
the-
them. I
Go.
guess. Like,
They all just end up being
Yeah.
absolute shit.
Right.
Oh,
They all go
man.
downhill. I'd say out of the three that I'm watching
Greg
right
is
now.
the successor. Ted.
Yeah, right. It just goes so
Guys,
down.
like-
It's Succession, Ted Lasso, and Barry for me. And I think the one I'm most worried about, I think honestly it's Succession. Not that I don't think they can do it. I think like
That's why I almost said
It's a
2
lot
out
of
of
pressure.
3. Because I agree.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Like,
Yeah.
a lot of shit happened. Well, we can get to it later, but a lot of shit happened in this most recent episode. And I feel like they have a lot of ground to cover to make it seem like a finale in this next
That's the-
episode. Unless it's like
that's
a
the big
really
thing,
long
yeah.
episode. But
I just need to sense some finality, and I hope it's not just like they ended the season and they're like, that's enough, right? You know, like
Yeah.
we'll see.
Yeah, I was
think
thinking the
Andy-
same thing, but I yeah, I don't know. I was checking today to see if it was an extra long episode because I just feel like they have a lot to cover
right?
in one
That's
episode.
that's exactly what I was thinking too at the end of this episode, you know?
Mhm.
They haven't released the length of the episode yet, so it could be.
I'll
2
take an hour and a
hours.
half. Yeah, I don't give a shit. I'd watch it. Same with Ted Lasso. I mean, those are always kind of extended episodes,
Yeah.
but I could use
I watched
like an
it
hour
this
and a half.
morning, but like,
Mm.
dude, I don't know. I feel like so much shit happened in this most recent episode, but
They
Yeah.
pushed a lot in. We'll get to those talks later,
yeah,
though.
we'll
right?
get there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys have anything cool? I mean, I see that the Disney Dunk Corner's on here.
Yeah.
I got nothing really that I personally have attached, but
Oh, for Disney Dunk?
mhm.
Oh, I don't know. You want to talk about? Yeah, okay, yeah. I
We
watched
wanna talk
Ant-Man.
about what we've been watching recently.
Oh,
It
first,
was
or-
fucking
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah. That's a bummer.
So,
I
yeah,
like
what
the
do you want to
first-
start with?
Yeah, right.
Well, I
We
guess we
tuck
can
that
dig
at
into
the end
Ant-Man.
to roll into the Disney dunk. All right, we'll tuck
Okay.
Ant-Man at the end,
Okay.
so
I
we'll come
gotcha.
back to it.
Yeah, I'll
Circle
go
around.
last.
What you
I
guys been
watched,
watching?
Guy Ritchie's The Covenant, which was actually just a pretty solid movie. I mean, it didn't have Guy Ritchie all over it, like his other like
His pizzazzy shit.
right, the British gangster films. It was just kind of just a straight up buddy war film, kind of like actually grounded and kind of gripping. So I don't know, it was well acted. I mean, Jake G and whoever was playing the translator guy. I haven't really seen him in anything, so but he was really good. I mean, altogether, it was just a solid movie. I had no complaints really.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good to hear.
You think Guy
Different
Ritchie's
vibe
at the
from
top
Guy
of his
Ritchie.
game? Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Do I think he's at the top of his game?
Yeah, I haven't felt much love for Ritchie recently. I don't know.
He's all over the place, man. Because
He
like
is,
The
yeah.
Gentleman, he came back with, in my opinion, with a banger. Because I love that
That's
movie.
pretty good.
Yeah, but like Operation Fortune, fine. The one Wrath
He's
of
like
Man,
pooping out
pretty
Statham
good.
movies. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I have no complaints there. I like Jason Statham, so
Yeah.
no complaints. Keep shitting him out, my man.
He's that. Yeah.
But it sounds like he might be going back to his Guy Ritchie ways with his next one coming out. I forget what it's called, but it's like it's a weird titled one. So I just feel like it's gonna go back to Operation Fortune, Ruse de Gru, or
Used to go.
yeah. So
Worst title in recent history.
it was pretty good though. And then I watched Renfield,
Nice.
and that was bad. So
I've
Gotta
heard
get
that's a bit
The
disappointing.
balance there.
yeah, I don't know who was in charge of editing that and who was in charge of writing that, but it felt like they didn't connect. And what came of it was this disformed thing. So not good.
You know, like years ago, I had like heard some rumor or like read something about Nicolas Cage possibly playing like Dracula in something.
Mm.
And he like I read that he like stayed in what apparently is Dracula's castle and shit. But like I'm assuming that was for something else because there was so much time in between this and when I had read that. So like I don't
Yeah.
I'm
Is
assuming
he
it was
in an
for
older
something else,
Dracula
but
movie? I think he might be.
maybe I don't know.
I think he
Yeah, I
is,
have
but
no
I'm not
idea.
sure.
I just
But
thought it was
with-
kind of interesting, I guess.
If he
Method,
stayed in
bro.
Dracula's castle for this, that was a fucking waste.
Yeah,
I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
probably was not, but
Nah.
I don't know.
Cashing those Nick Cage bucks though. Fucking. Yeah.
I'm-
Was he good in it at least, or what? Like,
Yeah.
honestly,
Any highlights?
just
no,
kind
not
of
really.
mid.
Yeah, I mean,
He was
just-
Nicolas Cage.
Yeah, he was Nick Cage with a
Just
Dracula
leaning into
What
accent.
more could you want?
You
Yeah.
know, so
Cool.
I don't know. That one
Watch
guy from
Castlevania, man.
Parks and Rec, the annoying guy who is with Aziz Ansari. Well, I don't know his name. He's a Jewish guy.
Oh, Ben
Ben
Schwartz.
Schwartz?
Yeah, Ben
okay.
Schwartz. He's like the main antagonist, I guess.
Oh, nice. I like that guy.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
funny, but not in this movie. I just think it was just whoever wrote this was just not,
Weaker.
not good.
Yeah, not feeling it. Yeah, I see.
I didn't laugh not a single time, and it's underneath like the comedy category. So I
Right.
don't know. It was just
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 something's off.
You'd think
Yeah.
they'd pull like some Richard Gere shit out, like do a little, I don't know, like have some fun with that, with the comedy Dracula stuff. But
Yeah.
maybe not.
No. Nope. Not funny. But what is funny is Modern Family. I'm still watching that as well.
Nice. How far in?
Yeah.
Have
I
you gotten?
am halfway, I think, through season 2. I mean, there's a lot of fucking episodes. So
Oh,
it's funny though. I mean, I think it's very smart. So I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, I remember just like I'd like catch episodes on here and there, and I remember like it would make me laugh just to the bits that I caught. So yeah,
It's funny. Very.
Yeah.
That second season, I think, is one of my favorites too. I watched it a couple times.
Yeah.
yeah.
It's good.
in the
I'm
stride.
enjoying it.
Right
Didn't
on.
think I would, so glad I am.
Nice.
Hell yeah, hell yeah.
I
Yeah.
I watched The Great Dictator, Charlie Chaplin movie. And I've been going on like through a Chaplin run. I'm actually almost done. He only has like 2 more, so I can like almost say that I've watched like most of Chaplin shit because he has
Nice.
50 shorts that I'm not gonna watch or whatever. But I've watched
You
at
are
least like
committed.
25 of his shit. So
You don't
like,
love film. You're not.
I
a
think
true
like when you
fan.
go back a little too far, they just start to feel repetitive and old and stuff. But I watched his good ones, and The Great Dictator. I mean, it became a 5-star movie.
Is that the one with
It's
the
pretty
speech
good.
that I know of? That's
Yeah,
like you're
the
not
speech at the end
machine,
is
you're
magic.
yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
crazy.
that's
I
one of the
mean,
best speeches I've heard ever. I think.
fantastic. Absolutely. And the movie is good as shit too. I mean, it's his first like one with full sound. So he's actually using like his own voice and stuff like that, but he's still like abiding by all the principles of like the silent film, like visual storytelling, comedy bits and shit. Yeah. So it's still got like all the heart of his like genuine shit, but it's like the pinnacle of like his capabilities as like a storyteller. And it, like to me, I love watching old shit honestly now because it recontextualized like Doctor Strangelove a little bit even, and that just recontextualized Mel Brooks for me. It's like I'm just like layering everything,
Mhm.
so that's pretty cool. I mean, and then I watched Quasi right after that, like a few hours later. One of the worst movies I've ever seen in my life. So I feel the balance that you're feeling, Alex. Like it's like I gotta watch something great and then just like wash it off with something completely shit. I don't know.
You'd think it'd be the opposite.
Right,
Alright.
right. I gotta cleanse.
I think it's just like a wave I hit. It's like up and down. Yeah.
Highs and lows. Highs and lows.
Other than
It's
that,
At this
Yeah, so-
point, it felt like Renfield was an obligation because I haven't seen a whole lot from 2023 yet. So I'm like, I gotta bump up
Yeah.
my numbers here for this year. So then I just threw Renfield on. I'm like, this is the one I chose, I guess.
kind of why I did Quasi too, because it just
Yeah.
came out. It's like a broken lizard movie. You think it'd be kind of good? I don't
Yeah.
know. I think they've kind of lost their way a little bit, but
Yeah.
it's fucking it was bad. Anyways, then I watched, been catching up on the Righteous Gemstones because that's about to start up again. Highly recommend that show if you guys haven't watched it. It's great.
I'm still on
Yeah.
season. I'm almost done with season 1. I started to back up this year, but I just haven't gotten back into it.
Yeah, I'm in season 2, and it's pretty good, man. It's solid writing and funny, and yeah, I like the characters.
Yeah, a couple of people
Uh,
have told me to watch, or maybe you've told me to watch it before, but I don't know. I
it's
feel
worth
like a
it.
couple people have recommended it to me. So
Danny
It's like the
McBride
same,
is one of the funniest dudes, I think. I don't know.
Yeah, man.
He's
and his like
hilarious.
creative crew is really smart too. Like
Yeah.
whoever he's got, they did like Eastbound and Down and
Mhm.
Vice Principals, both really good shows. Like
Yeah.
this is their third one now, so it's pretty cool. And then other than that, I just started the Smart List. They're doing like a 6-part
I
road
saw that.
documentary that I mean, it's kind of interesting, kind of boring, like the podcast, you know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Hit or miss.
right.
You
I
gotta
don't
find
know.
the guests that you're interested in, you know.
Yeah, it's kind of funny because they have a bunch of like guests like Conan and David
Yeah.
Letterman and stuff like that, and then they have like one guy in Boston who's like a AI scientist on the forefront, you know, or whatever. And like everybody hated that show and like walked out, and it was like boring as fuck. And they're like dealing with the aftermath of that, so you see like behind the scenes and stuff. But yeah, it's fun. I don't know. You just toss it on, just fuck around. So.
Nice.
I know.
Yeah.
Speaking of
Decent.
Conan, you know he's got his own channel now on Samsung Plus.
Oh, really? I didn't know that. I
it's
saw that
just
he's gonna
all
have a new
Conan
show.
stuff.
like a
Yeah,
whole
okay.
channel?
Yeah, a whole channel dedicated
How
to
much
Conan.
stuff does Conan have?
Team
Like,
Coco, baby.
I guess it's just old reels and old interviews and just on replay.
holy shit!
I was
Nice.
listening to his
Going into
podcast
the
and he was
archives.
talking about it. I was like, how can you have that much? I guess, I mean, he's been doing it for a long time, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got a new show on Max now.
oh
that
my God. Yeah.
yeah,
Nice.
I mean, it's like a travel show, so I'd probably watch it just because Conan's funny. Yeah.
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 Conan is like the best talk show, I think. I mean,
Yeah.
nowadays
He's
they're all
on it.
shit, but Conan
Yeah.
was top notch.
Mhm.
Yeah, what
Yeah,
is
what,
up with
which-
that? With talk shows, just like, you know, like I feel like at one point they were like, you know, like they like if you got on Letterman, you know, it was like fucking, or Carson, like you made it. You know, that's how you knew, right?
Mhm.
Like what now?
Back
It's
in
just
the
like
day.
it's fodder. It's like it just feels so
Yeah. Where do you
like
go?
tired. Yeah,
I think it's probably
You
just
become an influencer.
like I think it was probably just the internet.
it's basically
Yeah,
yeah,
like
it was,
hot
yeah.
ones. Hot
I
ones
don't know.
now is like the
Yeah.
thing to
Yeah.
judge.
I mean,
True.
and like after I guess that's true. But I don't know. I mean, like I feel like social media, everybody knows what's going on with people anymore anyway.
Yeah.
But like back in the
Mhm.
day when those were popular, like everybody wasn't as connected. You didn't
we
know
know
what everybody was
him.
doing all the time, you know?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, I feel like there was more like mystery behind people, so you actually had to do interviews like that, you know?
Yeah. that
The
makes
good old
sense.
days,
Oh.
huh?
The golden days.
Yeah.
Back in the
good
Carson
old
days.
days.
And dude, there was probably a certain magic to catching Carson every night, though, dude, and like seeing
Yeah.
like, new stuff every night.
Yeah.
That's that. Then who's the guests are? Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Well, Noah, what have you been watching?
I'm nearing the Scrubs end, baby. There's the light at the end of the tunnel, and we're almost there. I'm like, I want to say episode 16 of season 6.
Well,
So.
watch out, because there's a drop off right outside the tunnel.
Oh shit!
You still got a ways
It's
to
not
go,
a tunnel.
honestly,
It's just
man.
a fiery pit. Yeah.
got, like, 50 episodes still, probably, or 60 episodes.
yeah. Season
God
7 and
damn.
8.
I think you
Ugh.
said you were nearing the end.
I mean,
There's like 8
I thought I
solid
was.
seasons and then a 9th shitty one, right? Isn't that one?
Shit, I
Is
didn't even.
there?
For some reason, I thought there was only 6 seasons, but I feel like probably 8, and then the 9th
6
is bad.
legit ones.
Something like that.
7
Yeah,
legit
6
ones,
peak
yeah.
seasons and then
Yeah.
what follows.
Yeah,
That's
I mean,
cool.
other than that, I haven't been watching a whole lot. I've been reading more recently and listening to podcasts a lot more and audiobooks. So that's kind of been like what I've been ingesting in terms of media.
You reading anything
Um,
good?
This chess book I got, been studying up, getting good. No, but that, and then I got, here, I can show it to you guys. It's right here. You've got Red on You.
Oh yeah, I want to read that.
Yeah, it's just like the making of Edgar Wright's The Making of Shaun of the Dead, and got like storyboard stuff
Oh,
in
really?
here.
That's cool.
Yeah, interviews with like Nick Frost and Simon Pegg and some of the other
Yeah.
writers and stuff like that.
I have one of those,
Yeah,
but
that's
it's
pretty cool.
Noah Hawley.
Yeah.
It's making of
Oh, yeah?
Fargo and stuff. So
That's pretty cool too.
Yeah.
But that'd be interesting to hear.
those are just
Cool.
interesting, insight and how things were done and how
Mhm.
it all began. So it's kind of cool.
Yeah. Yeah, it was cool. Like where I'm at, it basically started with like Simon Pegg's story and how like this story of Sean is like very closely related to him, and like how the pub and Nick Frost being his friend, like the relationship problems, and then
Breaking out of that cycle.
Yeah. yeah, and then the
That's
zombie
cool.
apocalypse was just kind of weaved in there.
Woo. Okay.
But that's
Nice
kind of
pussy.
Yeah. She wants some love. Well, you're gonna fall.
But
Yeah,
other
should we
than
get
that,
into some Ant-Man talk then, Joe? Is that what else you been watching besides that? Anything cool?
I've been watching Silo.
Oh yeah,
And
yeah.
I feel like I don't know, after like the first couple episodes, like you said, I think it was last week, about how you couldn't tell if it was good or bad. I feel like I'm kind of the same. Like I honestly
Mhm.
can't really tell. I don't know. Like
I'm a little bit
the
negative
premise
on it right now.
I feel like the premise is done a lot. Like where you follow this group of people who are in the situation where like you're finding out the information about their situation at the same time that they are because they don't really know why they're there.
Yeah.
And I feel like more often than not, it like when the mystery is revealed, it's kind of a letdown because the entire time you're just like wondering. I don't know, like
No, I get you.
I could be wrong, but
No, I mean,
no, I know that
and
to be a
yeah.
very effective like storytelling device.
I mean-
usually I'm like in there if it's like like I don't know what the fuck's happening with these characters. They don't know,
Yeah.
you know, like that kind of thing.
That
And,
irritates
like,
the
also-
shit out of me actually. I don't know.
it annoys you.
Yeah, like that one boat show that came out that got canceled. I
$18.99.
couldn't finish that because it was just kind of like blue balling me for, 7
Yeah,
straight episodes.
that's what I feel like this
Mm.
show is. Like I had texted
Lost.
Matt earlier, and I guess the season will be 10
Lost is a
episodes,
Beast of
and I
its own.
feel like it could be like 6 to 8 episodes. Like
It
I feel like the
definitely does not
pacing
need to
of
be
this
10.
show is so
Yeah,
slow. In
it
like the
is.
first 3 episodes, the first episode, there's like I guess like it
protagonist.
starts off with the present day, kind of, and then it goes to a flashback, and then for most of the episode, and then it goes back to present day at the end of the episode, and then the start of the next episode is like a flashback again, but it's not as far back
Yeah, it's like a
as
year
the
back or whatever.
flashback in the first episode.
Yeah,
But
it's
like
confusing.
then at the end of the first episode, the main character dies, and like Rashida Jones died. Like I don't. It's just like there are like 4 or 5 main characters have already
Mhm.
died in the first 3 episodes, and I'm like, who am I following here? Like,
Why am I
here?
what's going
Rebecca
on? Like,
Ferguson here is our main girl, but they killed off 2 more interesting characters.
I do like her though too.
I like her, but like she's not a very engaging actress. Like, which
Yeah.
it's fine. But like also I think the problem with Silo that I'm feeling is it's so boring and dry. Like, I need like straight up. I need like comedy, and I need like characters that are feeling something. And I know that they've been locked in a silo for 100 years, but like, I don't think people would be like this depressing all the time. You know, like I don't know.
yeah,
It's
So,
just
I
like
get it.
Not much variety
Bleak.
in character.
No, yeah, they're all just like
Personality.
one note. Like that's what you
Yes.
need, like character differences and different vibes, or else
Right.
it's just like we're all in a fucking gray silo, and then a glimpse of outside, and then
And
okay, I'm
like,
in a gray silo, like like
so like the third episode talks like the basically like the main theme is like this turbine generator that powers the silo, and basically they're trying to fix it because there's a problem with it.
so
And,
where the
like,
show
it's
kind
like
of
the
lost
whole
me.
episode.
Yeah.
It like it was so long. Like personally,
much.
because like my background as engineer, I was talking to Matt about it too. Like there's like in the silo, because it's underground, they just have like a naturally occurring source of steam,
Mhm.
which is like pretty rare. But that they have it directed through the turbine, and that's what powers the station. So like in a normal power plant, like say a nuclear power plant, you use the nuclear material to heat up water to boil it to make steam, and then it goes through a turbine that like, so it's basically the same thing, except you don't need the nuclear material because you have an unlimited source of steam to power this, which is really cool because like it's basically like, I don't know, it's like the same thing as like a wind turbine or like a dam. You know,
resource.
so like you're just like using like the earth more. I don't know. That's why I thought it was cool.
I mean, it's
But-
cool. I think they
But
were
that
trying
being
to.
said, the episode was way too long. Like it was
boring,
way
yeah.
too drawn out. Like
Yeah.
so
They were trying to make it like a Chernobyl-esque, I think, dive into like the science and the factory of it all. You know what I'm saying? Where like Chernobyl's super interesting to me, where it just
Chernobyl
like
was good,
breaks
yeah.
it down. And this one, it's like by the end of it, when she's like when they're trying to get the one blade in to fix the whole thing.
I thought
I'm
that
just
guy was
like-
gonna die.
Well, I was just like, what?
The steam just fucking obliterates him.
Yeah, I
Like,
kind of
grind
lost the
them.
thread to be like, what's this gonna do? You know, like,
Yeah.
and then so the drama was lost for me, and then kind of
Maybe,
checked out a little bit. But,
maybe it's like in Chernobyl, you're expecting all that cool science stuff, so maybe that's why it seems boring in this one compared. That, or maybe it's just
Yeah.
not as interesting because
Maybe.
it's
It's
just
so
not as interesting. I
fabricated.
don't think
there really
Yeah.
wasn't that much science stuff either. They just kind of explained that there was a source of steam that they don't know where it comes from, and then
Right.
they talked about this container that basically with a valve that goes
Yeah.
before the turbine that they can like block the steam for a certain amount of time. But yeah,
And then it becomes an action sequence, for like 15
Gotcha.
minutes. So
yeah.
yeah, I don't know. I like it. I like the show. I'll keep watching a little bit here, but yeah, 10 episodes is way too fucking long. Way too much. And
Like I feel
hopefully
like
if
I'm gonna
they
watch
keep it
this
going,
next
they'll-
episode and like nothing's gonna happen. There's gonna be like one main thing that happens, and they're hour-long episodes. Like
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, no, I
Maybe,
get you,
maybe I'll
man.
just read the book. I don't know.
That's like I love these stories. The stories are the thing that entices me. The execution is not something I'll read
And
it
I
and
have
go through that
noticed like
process in my brain and have the fun still.
like
but-
some of the shots too. I don't know like what I don't know. I don't know that much about like camera work and stuff like that. I feel like it's either they use like a specific filter or something like that
gross.
because like
Yeah.
half the time like half of a shot is like blurry, but it's not like background foreground. It's like
They just forgot to
it's like
hone
half
in
the shot
focus.
is blurry, but it's like both the background and the foreground. So like I don't know what.
Yeah,
I don't know what- it's
specialized
weird, like-
lens then.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't know.
The
It was
vibe, like I
weird.
couldn't tell you any interesting like camera work or vibe work that the show's doing. That's what I'm talking when I said first we're watching is like they have like a Netflix sheen, some of the Apple TV shows where it's like
Yeah.
they're like they're like cycling through the same lenses or some shit, like it's like
Yeah.
here's that Apple TV lens, put it, it's like ugh, no, like
I feel like they probably did this show because like after like Severance went on break, they like had this as like the mystery thriller in the meantime until Severance comes back.
Yeah.
But even Severance, like I feel like at least it was only 7 episodes, I think, right?
it's like 8 or 9.
I don't know.
episodes.
It was
Because I feel
9,
like
yeah.
that was almost too drawn out for me too.
It-
Like
it
I feel
was.
like yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, there's a sweet spot for TV. Like, and if you extend past it, you're gonna feel it, because you have to stretch then. So
I think if your pacing is good, and I mean the characters are interesting enough, 10 is the perfect. But like you
I
guys
think
were
like
saying,
8.
if you're-
If you have enough
honestly,
content,
Really?
like
if you have it, yeah, for sure,
Yeah.
do 10. But
I think
I
it
don't
has
think
to
a lot of
be-
shows do.
Yeah, honestly, just an even number because then it's like you can block out, but we need to be
Yeah.
here by like episode 2. We need to be here by episode 4. That kind of
Yeah.
thing.
You got like
Maybe.
checkpoints for sure. Yeah.
yeah, I mean,
Like
the
Game of
best
Thrones, I
series-
think is like the example of like they had 10 for a long time and then they clearly didn't have it anymore.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I don't know if that's every show. Obviously, there's gonna be shows that can hit 10 perfectly. Like Beef. I don't know if you guys watch Beef. They did 10,
Yeah.
I was thinking about
and I
starting.
thought that was
I was
pretty
thinking
well
about it too,
paced.
yeah.
Yeah.
There
Like
was a
10, I
couple-
thought 10 was pretty good.
Yeah, it was fine. I think there was some unnecessary fat and character arcs that I thought could have been different.
In
but
Beef?
yeah, yeah.
I'm just
Just
joking.
the
That was
whole
just like a
brother and-
wordplay.
Got
I've
some-
heard Matt talk so highly of this show. It's funny that like you.
No, it
Yeah, I
is
don't know.
good. I love it. Yeah,
It's a good show.
I know what you're
It's a
saying.
good show. I just wish the last 2 episodes started before the last 2 episodes. You know what I'm saying? Like
Mm.
start that shit in the like episode maybe 6 or 7, and then give us more of that.
Yeah.
Because the characters that I'm interested in, like they aren't the main focus. It's like his brother and I don't know.
Should have thrown
So,
you in sooner.
That's my
Yeah.
beef with Beef. But
Hey.
Where's the beef?
I think 10
So-
episodes. I mean, the best my favorite TV shows are all like, besides Breaking Bad, which was 13 episodes, I think, per season. But yeah, like True Detective, Fargo, those are all 10 episode series, So
That's true. But like True Detective, I feel like just
I
like
think True
well,
Detective's
most
8.
of the seasons. I don't know. I haven't seen season
I
2.
think
I should
the first
probably
Season
go
one
back
I
and
You
watched.
watch
actually
it.
might be
Me
right.
neither.
I think True Detective is 8. Now that I'm
I was
thinking
scared
about it.
after
shit.
watching the
Actually,
first season.
Yeah.
That first
was-
season's fucking gold.
So
I'm,
fucking
I'm curious about
good.
this new one they're coming out with too. We'll see.
I am
Oh,
too.
yeah.
Who's cast in this one?
Jodie Foster.
Holy shit!
Oh shit!
Yeah, speaking of,
Look at that. Whoa, it's a different writer.
yeah, they took out Nick Pizzolatto.
Why?
Oh yeah. It looks like there's only 24 episodes.
It's hit or miss, I think.
So that would be 8 a season.
Hey, I don't care what anybody says about second season of True Detective. It also slaps. But
It
Yeah?
doesn't slap that hard. It
It's-
slaps
I don't know.
mid-
I've only heard bad
mid-slap.
things.
Yeah,
I'll
it
watch it
slaps
though.
pretty
Like,
hard.
I came back and watched it after a few years, and it was better than I anticipated, but not anything special.
It spanks a little bit of ass. Don't downplay it. All right,
It,
it's
it,
pretty
it,
good.
it like barely grazes the ass as it's like leaving. It like almost misses the ass. It's like, you know,
It's a little bit of love, you know.
it got
tease.
contact, you know, a little bit, but
It's pretty good. It's not the first season. The first season is fucking
that's just
solid.
insane.
Yeah,
Yeah,
a hard
crazy
beat.
My buddy, he was at Disc Replay, and he was like, "Hey, the True Detective season 1 is here, for like $5. Should I get it? I don't know. They don't have the rest." I'm like, "Well, they're standalone, so yes, get it." And he's like, "Is it worth it?" I'm like, "Yes, first season especially." Fuck.
Got
I
that one on
remember,
DVD
like,
too, man.
I think it was my last year of college. Matt let me borrow it, and like, I don't just watching that for the first time. I just like kept watching the next
Binging
episode because
it,
I'm like,
yeah.
holy fuck, like,
Yeah,
It's enticing. Yeah.
yeah, that's some good shit.
Yeah. Well, should we move into the dunk corner?
Yeah,
Or
I mean,
boxing
Yeah.
Disney in?
wanted to ask you guys what you're anticipating with these. Like Little Mermaid, the only thing I've heard is it has like Lion King syndrome where the animals look dead inside, and it's just dark and depressing.
My only highlight, or the thing that I think is like the redeeming quality, is probably what's her name, Melissa McCarthy as
Yeah.
Ursula. I think it's like a spot on casting. Other than that, I
Yeah.
don't know. I don't see myself really. I don't know. It's another Disney fucking
Yeah.
live action.
Probably gonna go
whatever.
see it because Emily wants to see it, but
Sarah
got good
also wants to
music.
see
I'll
it.
let you know.
Fucking
So we'll be able to
Aquafina
dunk on
is
it
the seagull.
twice.
Really? Oh, she's
Yeah,
haunting
I
you,
mean,
dude.
Yeah,
Wherever you
Aquafina
go.
is coming for me.
Yeah.
My God.
I was
Get
very disappointed with how Sebastian looked. He's the
It's a
flounder,
crab.
right?
Right?
I said,
No,
wait, who am I
flounder.
thinking of?
Is
Flounder,
it
flounder.
flounder? The
No, I'm
flounder?
thinking-
Like,
I was disappointed with Flounder. That dude does
Yeah.
not look at all like
me
impactful. He's like way too small. I don't know.
That's what
Just
that's
from the
the
trailer.
main critics are like. It's hard to enjoy these characters singing and cracking jokes when they have dead beady eyes.
Fish
It's like-
lips.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's gonna be weird. That's gonna be weird, man. Lion King for me was like one of the most soulless experiences of my movie going in
Yeah.
life. So like,
See that,
hopefully this one's got a little bit more.
I was just also perusing like the Rotten Tomatoes scores, and like it shows like it's at like 70%, positive. But like if you click on top critics, a majority of the top critics it's at like a 40-something%. So like they buried those top critics and just pulled out all the other ones to, I don't know. Critics, obviously, I don't really agree with a lot of them, but
Yeah,
if
it
even the top
depends.
critics are like, "Hey guys, maybe you should stop doing live action remakes." I mean, even the people who shilled for you for how long are starting to say, "Guys, please stop." So, I don't know.
Yeah. No,
Same
that's how
with
I feel
Indiana
every time.
Jones. So
Every time I like see a movie on Prime, it's like, oh, Prime's got it rated like 4.5 stars.
4.5
That
stars.
right next to its IMDb, it's like 5.6 or
Jeez.
something. I'm like,
yeah. I was
you gotta,
so I'm
like,
curious. I haven't
cross-reference all the
seen
scores.
like really any of the live action Disney stuff. So like The Lion King obviously is all animals. The live action Aladdin is
horrible.
like the monkey's name is Abu, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like is the monkey is he in there? Is
Yeah.
he in the live action version?
Yeah.
Seems like
I
Which
remember.
it's a
That's a
little
Guy Ritchie
monkey.
movie, by the way.
Because
Yeah.
I guess like
Yeah.
I would equate like Abu to Flounder, right? I mean,
yeah.
I want to say that Abu had more life from what I could tell.
Yeah, he did.
though.
I mean,
he's
the whole
he's
movie
a monkey.
in itself
compared to
was
the fish.
lifeless, and I think
don't
Guy Ritchie was
Yeah.
hired for a director for that movie, but
Yeah.
that
Who
movie
do you
was
hire
badass.
for that
That's
movie
the
though?
thing. I feel like
who's
as a
You
director,
don't- you
it's
don't
like
make
you
it,
get
you
approved
just
by
don't make
Disney.
the movie.
Yeah, yeah.
No
Like,
one
I don't
wants that
know.
job.
I mean, I don't know. I guess after
Favreau
yeah.
does.
Yeah, right.
Who directed Little Mermaid? I don't even know, honestly.
It's
Johnny Boy.
Johnny, old Johnny boy. You know him.
let's see.
He's setting up all our franchises.
We always go to Johnny Boy. He gets the job done.
Ron Clements, John Musker. Is that... No. That's the
That's
original.
the OG, right? That's like
Rob Marshall. That's
the
the
good one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Rob Marshall. He directed.
What has he done?
But Lin-Manuel is like a producer credit on it.
I think if he changed lyrics around, I'm kind of curious about that too, because I mean I
He
like
did.
Lin-Manuel's music, so
I think some like 3 of the original songs are altered, and there's like a rap song in there now.
Of course.
of course I mean Lin-Manuel's showing up, he's
Yeah,
putting in a
but-
rap.
It looks like Rob Marshall. Hey, he made the best Pirates or second best Pirates. So
Which one?
on Strange
What do you
Tides.
think? You think that's the second best
Second
Pirates?
best?
Fuck yeah, second best.
Oh, dude, those
Wait.
first 3 are
Is that
so
the one
good.
where like
That's the worst one.
It's the
Yeah.
no,
Is that the
no,
one
no.
where Orlando Bloom and
No.
The worst one is the
Orlando
last
Bloom comes
one.
back?
Dead Man Tell
That-
No Tales.
That last one was better than Stranger
No,
Tides. I
don't-
thought.
don't-
Wait, is
Oh,
Stranger
God, I'll never
Tides
do
the
it,
one with the
fucking
Fountain of
nerd.
Youth?
Yes.
Yeah.
You think that one's good?
It fucks. Okay, it's not. It's no Dead Man's Chest because that one.
Dude, get the fuck out of
I
here,
love
dude.
that
The
one.
first
That was
3
great.
are the best
First 3 are
Yeah,
pretty
Like,
solid.
No, the
Oh,
third
that's a
one is
trilogy they should just
subpar.
cut off.
It's
Third
overrated.
one's okay. It's good. It's good. It's still
Third one's
good.
The
Yeah,
first one,
yeah,
solid. Second one, a banger. Third one, On Strange Tides, nice.
No.
Dead Man Tell No Tales, forget about it.
I don't even think
Yeah,
I've
the
actually
seen
didn't mind that one. 'cause it's
Dead Men Tell
back
No
to-
Tales, to be honest, but I have seen the
Mhm.
first 4. And
Oh, okay.
hey, number 4, I would put as number 4 on my list.
Yeah,
No,
it goes
no.
in order of movie for Pirates for me.
I can go
think.
2, 4, 1, 3.
And then 5, 4.
Honestly, yeah, I'm kind of with Matt on it. But except I would put the second Dead Man's Chest or whatever. I don't know. The second
Yeah.
movie I would put as number 1.
Yeah,
Really.
that one.
First one's got a magic to it, man. I like
It
the
is.
first
It
one.
is good, yeah.
But the
The
second one's when
second
they
one's just
knew
so
they had a
good.
universe and they
Yeah,
just
so good. But he did Chicago, Into the Woods, Mary Poppins, the new one, the new the old Annie.
He's a musical guy then, sounds like. I mean,
Yeah.
if there's someone to hire, I guess that's the
At least they
Oh, guy.
found somebody who actually directed musicals instead of
Right.
like, "Hey, Guy Ritchie, you want to do
Hey
this?"
John Favreau, you know what you're doing over there?
Can we get your name
He
on
just
this?
comes out like in a suit, like I don't know, in some kind of suit, like where you can't see his face, and he's just like singing and shit.
Right. But yeah, I heard the Indiana Jones negative reviews, but I guess I'll wait for the audience.
Oh, I do.
to, like-
So this when we went to go see Guardians 3, Indiana Jones, like the trailer was on before it, and I think that's
Yeah.
the first time I've actually like watched the whole trailer and listened to the whole trailer. Because
Were
we were
you
talking
impressed?
before, because I was like, they can't have him have like a daughter like that he didn't know about, because he already had a son that he didn't know about, but it's his goddaughter. So like she's not actually related to him.
It's the secret.
They're like the only script revision that whole story went through is like, yeah, it's pretty good, but the daughter, and then they just went and like before daughter they went God.
Yeah, right. Like,
God. That's
like
the only
just
thing they
found
changed.
all of the words of like daughter, like
Yeah,
they just
like,
changed them all at the same time. Like,
You think, no, this works, right? I mean,
Yeah.
right. It works better.
See, I haven't seen any of the original 3. I've seen Crystal
Dang, man.
Skull.
That's a dive you should do.
Yeah, that's your
Yeah, no, I need
that's
to.
your homework for next week.
Yeah,
Hey,
we'll
I heard
dive.
they're
I'll dive
pretty
Mission
good.
Impossible. You dive Indiana Jones. We'll meet
There
in the
you go.
middle somewhere.
Yeah.
Hey, yeah, no, I mean, I have them on DVD. My friend gave them to me to watch, so I gotta.
I like
just
them.
gotta
I like
fucking
those
do it.
movies, man.
Yeah, they caught something special with those. Harrison Ford probably had his peak in prime.
Yeah.
I'd honestly, I don't know if I could say like. I think I would like more watch those over Star Wars, honestly, or like I like that story more than Star Wars. But I think Star Wars was a huge part of my childhood too, so I don't know.
Yeah.
I could say that.
Well, now they're both getting destroyed by
Yeah.
Disney, so
Corporate. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yuck.
Yeah,
you
everything's got to
can-
get
you
drugged
can share
down
that with
eventually.
them.
Yeah. You gotta milk the shit out of all of it until it turns
Speaking
bad.
of which, did you
That
guys
milk
see
turns
that
sour.
Fast X did
It's
okay?
like a 1 of 3 parts or something.
Oh well, yeah,
Oh my
it's
god,
the
Vin
beginning
Diesel
of the
needs to
end or
sit
whatever.
The fuck down.
Fucking
man.
really?
Uh,
Jeez. Yeah.
the end of the road is starting.
I read this thing where he's gonna run.
hope
for,
Paul
like,
Walker
start his
shows up.
Oscar campaign for this movie. Like,
Wait,
what? Yeah, it was like Vin Diesel said it's his
Best
turn to get in the
performance, yeah.
Oscar race. I'm like,
Wow.
I
Take
think
it
he's
easy.
just trolling at this point, right?
He's
He just
gotta be.
knows.
Nah.
Yeah.
it did domestically. It only pulled 67 million, but worldwide it was
that.
like 370.
It did crazy. That was surprising. Honestly.
Wait, do you mean fast? You mean this new one? Oh shit,
Yeah.
is it out?
It
Oh,
just
I
came
didn't
out.
even know it was out.
Yeah.
Man,
Nobody in America cares anymore for some reason, but
No.
then everyone else does. That's so weird
China's
to
the
me. Yeah.
biggest market for the Fast series, and
That's
that's
so
where they pull
weird.
most of theirs.
Yeah.
That's
There are a lot
what
of
Vin
street
Diesel
racing in
was
China?
saying that the next one or two following it depended on the China market, which obviously it did business.
And now
So.
they're just like, okay. Oh, thank God.
Yeah.
That fucking
green
worked.
light.
Whew.
Yeah.
But by the way, I know how it ends. So like, if they didn't make another one, I think people would just be like actual true
Yeah.
fans. Which how can you be a true fan still? I don't know. I
Yeah.
guess the China folk are, but like how they ended it, I guess is pretty infuriating. And they brought like Dwayne Johnson back, and it's like,
Oh, wow. Nice. Cool. Get them all back for the end one. I mean, you got to end it right.
yeah, I guess.
But
Well,
yeah, that's
I
number
mean-
10 on my list. What do you guys have as Fast X at?
I think it's like 5 or something.
yeah, I think I had
remember
like 4 or 5. It was
I
up
knew
there,
I knew
but
the interest wasn't like there anymore. It's still a good amount, and it probably will be more
Yeah.
than some of my other ones. But
we'll see how it does the second weekend. See what the drop.
Yeah, I got
off
it at
is.
4.
yeah,
Four.
yeah. Guardian's solid. I think that's still a solid pick. But
Yeah,
Little Mermaid, this one, I have
I
it
don't
pretty
think it
high. So
on my list.
yeah.
It's just I don't see it
We'll
pulling
see.
that much money. I don't know.
That's what I said. That's what I thought too. But then, like, I'm gonna go see it because of Emily. There's gonna be a lot of people that are like, "Oh, I'm going to see fucking Little Mermaid." You know, like that's
Yeah,
what my
that's true.
theory is.
I guess Sarah wants to see it.
It's
so-
possible, yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know. I
Shit.
feel like it's a wild card to me. I don't know.
it
Yeah.
is good.
Sure. Yeah. I still think Barbie and Oppenheimer are gonna like both fucking kill it. Like regardless that they're coming out at the same time, I think they're both just gonna fucking.
Dude, holy shit. Oh, well, first, Blackberry's out now, right?
It's been
Mhm.
out, yeah.
I kind of want to go see that. But
It's not in my theater.
it
Kinda
reminded
sucks.
me, because I
Same.
was walking by the music box and it was there. I don't know if it still is, but I'll have to check that. But like, dude, Beau is Afraid has been playing. I think it's finally not at the music box anymore. It's like my local theater. And dude, it was there like until like this past weekend, I'm pretty sure. And I'm just like, how has that movie been in the theater for that long? Like, I don't know. The music box doesn't usually run movies that long either. So I'm like, why the fuck would
Must
they
have been
have
doing
this
good.
movie? Like, I don't know,
It's
dude.
it's like the art house indie movie of the moment, I'd say. But
Yeah.
yeah, but
maybe
like,
people
I
are
don't know.
seeking
It was
out
just
still.
weird because I've never seen them run a movie that long before, and
Yeah.
like, I don't know. I didn't know why this one was the one. You know, like, I don't know. It was weird.
It was a lot of buzz around it too for the people that were like following. But
Yeah.
so, I don't know. I
Right.
could see maybe a couple people like leaving it open for a little bit, but my theater was empty in like the second week. So I don't know.
Yeah.
You shared it with that one guy, right?
The one dude, me
Yeah.
and the one guy. Yeah.
So, is it time for me to shit all over Ant-Man? Or
Oh yeah,
I
shit.
guess I don't
Please.
have to.
Go
Yeah,
for it.
basically,
Put the-
I don't know. I guess
Yeah.
we talked about it before, but yeah, I
I
mean,
thought the first two are like, well, the first ones, I just like those first two. I think they're
oh, the
pretty-
Ant-Man movies? Yeah,
Yeah.
because like I feel like they were like heist movies, and they were
Yeah.
actually like funny to
Good,
me. I
fun
don't know.
ones,
And yeah, actually
I'm
pretty
still
decent
sad
story.
because the first one could have been an Edgar Wright movie,
It
but
could
you
have
know,
been.
it is.
Yeah.
Nah,
Yeah.
But Disney
still salty.
fucked up again.
I
Just
don't know.
imagine, we have the James Gunn universe, then we have the Spider-Man universe, which is kind of on its own. That's Sony's. We could have had the Edgar Wright.
We
Oh.
could have. Yeah, that's true, man.
Magic,
That'd be
yeah.
nuts. And like
But-
that's if they just trusted him a little more, like
Right.
they did with Gunn at that. I don't
Yeah,
know.
you'd think
Well,
they'd
they
learn
didn't
a lesson
really
from
trust
Gunn.
Gunn. Did they? They were
They
like, hey,
just
man,
didn't care about that project.
yeah,
they
said,
like
you can do
cared
it,
too
bro,
much
but
about
it ain't gonna
Ant-Man.
make money. So
Yeah. Yes.
It's like hold my beer. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Unfortunate, but
watch me, you
anyways,
fuckers.
the
Yeah.
third Ant-Man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Tell us a little
totally
bit about
different.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was like, I don't know. Like I said earlier, like it felt like the tone of like an Iron Man movie to me. I don't know. And I don't know. Just all around, it was just bad. I'm trying to think of like good things I can pick out about it, and honestly, I don't. Because like all around, to start off, the story, like the two main plot points that like I feel like this movie is built on are them getting sucked into the quantum realm and Kang being in the quantum exiled to the quantum realm. So like them getting sucked into there, I like was never really explained why that happened. The machine just turned back on. So like I assumed it was like Kang kind of pulling some strings, but like why wouldn't he just teleport them to him and not just some random location in the quantum realm? Like that's just like all just so you can just have random bullshit happen in the quantum realm. And then like the first time that they showed Kang in like the Marvel Cinematic Universe, like his name was He Who Remains or something like that in the Loki show, and he's talking about how all these Kangs were like killing each other and shit over the different timelines. Why would the Kangs choose to exile another Kang to a place where time doesn't exist? Like, what is the logic
Council of
behind that? That
Kings
makes no
voted
sense.
and
They would just kill his
yeah.
ass. Like, they wouldn't exile him. Like, that is so stupid. Like, that doesn't make any
But
sense.
we can't
And,
kill our king brother.
like, the only reason they did that was because this movie is to set up Kang. Like, and that's like the only purpose for this movie. The rest of it just like didn't fucking matter. And then like
Yeah.
writing pretty fucking bad. All of the
Terrible.
characters I thought were not great. Even Paul Rudd, like I was kind of annoyed at. And like this, like I said earlier, the CGI and the costume design so fucking bad. Like the costume design looked straight up like it was fucking 90s Power Rangers shit. Like it was so bad. Like
That's how I felt
It's-
after the second Black Panther. Not like the Atlantis stuff, but like their new. Yeah, I was like, what are we like? Yeah, is this like
Yeah.
fucking
Like
Genshin
cartoony
shit?
CGI shit.
Yeah. Felt
I mean,
weird.
and then Quantumania is some of the worst like green screening shit that I've seen in a long time too, where it's like the environment is completely disassociated from the image. You know, it's like, and that's cool. I mean, if you can extend it back and sell it, then fine. But even in the trailers, I knew it was gonna be bad because they're like their signature shot of like quantum realm. And it was like 3 floating objects of nothingness, like that meant nothing and looked like shit. It's like, okay, so we have no ideas about the quantum realm, right? It's just like we're just
Yeah.
throwing shit, literally.
I feel like it's basically just like a catch-all for like anything can
Yeah.
happen in the quantum realm. Like anything.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
ants, they can like age a million years and get like super smart and just show up and find Hank
Oh.
Pym and like yeah, I don't know. And then MODOK randomly showed up, but like
All right.
not aged at all, really. Like I don't know.
Just
Yeah,
a
I feel like
shitty
the
CGI
concept
version
of the
of
quantum realm in this is just like
Exactly.
literally just you can whatever you can do
We need
whatever you
another
want with
pocket
it.
universe. We need another
Yeah, like,
out. Yeah.
I don't
Mhm.
know.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's bottom of
That's
my
pretty much
list
all I
here.
have to say about it, to be honest.
I think
All
that's
around,
common. Yeah.
like I guess like I didn't expect it to be that bad. I thought people were just shitting on it because like I don't know.
Marvel's
That's
on the
like the thing
decline.
nowadays.
Yeah.
People just shit on Marvel movies because like and because most of them are actually pretty bad.
Yeah.
But like I don't know. I wasn't expecting it to be that bad. Like it was so bad. Like
That's
I don't know.
Yeah, it killed a lot of people's buzz, including mine in the theater. As
Yeah.
Mm,
In the hype for this movie, like because it was supposed to be like a big deal and
right to set up this next phase or whatever to like really kick off.
basically nothing
and-
happened in it either. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
You'd think they with like the way the way they did the whole Kang thing in Loki that they just give Kang his own like, check out all these Kangs, look at this war, like all this shit that happened. That's why we're in the quantum. That's why we're at where we're at now.
Mhm.
But it sounds like they just like, we need an act
Teasing
1,
you
we
with
need
it.
an act 2. All
Like,
right, cool, we
This
finished.
seemed like it could have just been one of their shitty TV shows, to be honest. Like,
Mm.
Well, I don't think they know like what the difference is anymore between their
Yeah.
like TV shows and
No.
movies
Clearly,
and like
I mean,
quality
you have to
levels and
watch the
shit.
shitty TV shows to stay up to date. So it's
Yeah.
I will
Yeah.
say,
exhausting.
I remember watching the latest Spider-Man movie, No Way Home, and then like watching the finale of like the Hawkeye show, and there was definitely a clear difference.
Yeah.
Mm.
For sure. I mean,
Quality.
Guardians of the Galaxy, you can tell they trust that and like it's
Yeah.
like a
Different
distinct
creative
brand.
teams, though.
Yeah, right. It's
Like,
like
you just
they
see what James Gunn
aren't
did just for
steamrolling it.
Guardians 3, just for like doing the animal scenes, like the work
Yeah.
that he put in. I don't know.
Mm.
It's just completely different than what I assume
For
Disney
hire
Marvel
director.
does, right? Yeah.
I mean, I like Peyton Reed as a director or whatever, but he was the director they hired after Edgar Wright.
Yeah.
As like the for
Cool.
hire guy is like he'll
Yeah.
say yes, like
Wait, I don't think that's even the guy who directed this one, though.
I think so. I think it is his third one.
I thought it was some new guy for this one.
Really? I thought it was Peyton Reed again.
I
But
can look it up, but I'm pretty sure it was a different guy than the first two.
yeah, maybe.
Either way, it's that's like Disney's fucking thing now. Get somebody who's just gonna say yes to the paycheck and
Pretty much,
about the
yeah.
project, yeah.
Destroy their creative
Oh no,
vision along the
you're
way.
right.
Yeah.
It is Peyton Reed.
Yeah, he's just cashing them Marvel checks, man. You know, he got the job, and I mean, like I don't know. I like the first two as okay movies. They're not really that good either,
They're
I'd
okay.
say, but
They're,
like,
fun. They're fun.
I mean,
they're fun.
as for Marvel movies, I think like you said, they're fun.
Yeah, they're
If the
decent.
standard is a Marvel movie, yeah, they're okay.
Yeah, very low bar. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, no more
I'm
Disney
gonna move
talk.
on. I don't have any more Disney stuff.
Yeah, fucking Disney. We just get
You
stuck
guys-
in the corner and we start beating ourselves up. You know,
I
Yeah,
might see
right.
something.
I just get angry.
on the streamers thing is a picture today is all the streamers should cut their logos in half. You know how HBO Max is now just Max, and then Peacock
Yeah.
would just be Cock, and Hulu
Nice.
would
That'd be
be
good. That'd be
Lou,
good.
and Netflix would be
Netflix.
Flix, and Disney Plus would
Yeah.
just be take away the Disney and just the Plus.
Yeah.
nice.
No,
Yeah, I
did
was
you
like-
see their Netflix is changing their whole subscription shit now. They're not letting people share passwords and whatnot.
Yeah, like I feel like
Mhm.
they're gonna lose
Ooh.
so many
I've heard
They're gonna
that
come out
they-
and say
drivers.
that was leaked. That was bad information. We're not actually doing that, just like last
Yeah,
time. Or...
renege on that. Yeah.
But,
You're like testing the water again. Like
Uh-huh.
this time it's real.
do a
Oh, no,
Is this
just
play?
kidding. Oh, shit.
Yeah.
$7.99
mean-
a person though.
Yeah.
That's like a way too big of a
Bananas.
jump. That's
Yeah.
insane. That's where you're gonna lose people. I mean,
Yeah. I heard it's done well because it's like obviously their subscribers number, not obviously maybe, but their subscriber numbers went up because it's like the people who are willing to pay for it are gonna pay for it. So you're like gaining more accounts in that way, but you're also like, I don't know. I
The
feel
way
like you're just
they went
shitting on
about
your
it
audience.
though is like they
I don't
threaten the
know.
people if they share, they're just gonna block their accounts. Like what? No
Yeah.
warning? You're just gonna cut them off? Like those are
Yeah.
your customers. Why are you
Like,
gunning your
You're
customers?
treating
down?
them this way.
I feel like I've
yeah.
already been on the fence. Like I've like just not having Netflix anymore and just like subscribing for like a month and just binging a bunch of shit and then just getting rid of it again. Because like
Free
they
trial.
are
I
the
don't
binge
know.
model. They follow
I'm
the
barely
binge
on
model.
it, and like if they tried to block me because like another person's using my account from a different location, that's like it. I'm just
Cancel.
all right.
Okay.
Fuck it.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'll
cancel.
Yeah,
cancel
I
it.
get
All
you.
right, see ya. Like
Yeah.
I have like every service, or I'm like sharing services with various family members, but
Yeah.
that's the Netflix is the one service I'm willing to cut, and like that is a push that even me would be like, no, you know, like no.
Unfortunately, I feel like other streaming services are gonna like rethink their shit now too, and be like, well, maybe we should, you know, Netflix is doing this. They're the ones who started
Yeah,
it.
but
Maybe
when
we
they
should
see
follow this
Netflix
model.
completely eat shit, they're gonna be
Yeah,
like,
like, haven't they already been losing a shit ton of subscribers?
I
Or like
think
is that
somewhat.
Yeah, it's been like a steady decline. I'm pretty sure.
they
Yeah,
keep
like-
pumping out bullshit. So
Mhm.
I mean, the only
Yeah.
reason I have my own separate Netflix is it's tied in with my phone plan. So they're just like, here's a Netflix account. So
Nice.
it's like, all right, that's fine. I mean,
Why not?
on our TV, we still logged in with Sarah's brothers, but on my phone, I have mine. Sarah has it on her phone. So,
Yeah, there you go. Shipped
so
over.
maybe her brother will get blocked, and then we'll just have to use ours. So fuck 'em.
well, you're gonna get blocked too. Like it's like yeah. I don't know. You have two different. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
You
can you
got
not share
another
with
device on
anyone?
here.
I didn't like read into it either. It's like how
All I
many?
read was a quick thing saying it's $7.99 per household that you share it with, which I
Yeah.
don't know if they're like checking IP.
It
Or-
must
They
be
are.
then.
They're checking your IP address to make
Okay.
sure, basically, like how many profiles
Yeah,
or slash
you're
accounts
using
are
it.
on there. Yeah.
That's
Dumb.
crazy.
Yeah, it's fucking weird.
Mm,
But, yeah, I don't know.
mm,
I thought it was strange. We covered that at the news station, and I heard that, and I was like, "Fucking streaming, man! Such a
Yeah, people
different
making
animal."
moves. Yeah.
yeah."
I respect the Max rebranding. Honestly, I don't respect the color change. Even though I was like looking at all the apps in the line, I was like, it looks better than most like Prime and
Yeah.
fucking Paramount Plus. Those apps look like shit, and they're just like a bland light blue.
They couldn't even just
You still
update
got
this
HBO
app.
up there.
They had to give the fucking
oh, I do too.
a
Yeah.
whole new makeover. Like they couldn't just
Yeah.
say, "Let's update
Weird.
HBO Max."
I
It's
know,
like
that
on
was
my
kind of
TV.
pissing me off too.
On my TV, the app updated itself, so it's Max now.
Yeah,
But on my phone, it's still HBO Max.
Same.
Yeah.
My
Weird.
TV
Like,
is the
you
only
click
one
on
that did it
HBO Max,
by
it
itself.
says we have a new look, and it's just like, okay, just change your look.
Yeah,
Make
like
me
Yeah.
download this.
weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can
know.
respect their rebrand a little bit, but yeah,
I
I
can't.
still
It's
think they
just
shot themselves in the
bland.
foot, getting rid of HBO, like the fucking moniker that
Yeah.
everyone knows and loves.
I don't know.
weird.
I scrolled through Max and I went through like 60 reality shows and I was like, never for me, but for somebody, that's
Oh yeah,
the shit, you know,
Yeah.
like, so.
like
Yeah,
8,000
but,
new
like,
titles, and
Didn't
I
you
think
have
they're all
that
deadly as
already with
catch,
like
so
Discovery Plus or whatever? Like before this merge?
yeah.
I
Was
mean,
that,
like,
they
we're-
had it. I mean,
yeah, I mean,
but
like,
nobody was
I
going to
guess
that
I'm
service, you know, like nobody
Right.
was going to subscribe to Discovery Plus. So it's like, well, we have fucking Max. Why aren't we fucking using this? You know, that's
Yeah.
that's
I
the
don't
conversation
know.
that probably happened.
Yeah, but yeah, I guess you're right. I don't know. I just feel like. So you're
Like,
saying they used the name of HBO Max to gain the subscribers for the reality bullshit?
I mean, they Trojan horsed like
Yeah.
a streaming service through HBO, basically, is kind of how I see
Yeah,
it.
but I
Yeah.
guess like I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I guess we'll see what happens. But I mean, if the people weren't watching the reality bullshit before, like, and if
people
people
are, though.
came
They
to
have to
HBO
be.
Max for the HBO, like, I
Yeah.
don't know. I mean,
Yeah, no,
Somebody's
it's
gotta be
distinct
watching it.
audiences.
yeah.
What's
I
that,
mean,
Alex?
I don't know.
Somebody's got to be watching those reality shows, because I mean, I know the Discovery. I mean, they bought HBO, so like the
Yeah.
Discovery CEO, he's a ruthless motherfucker, and he only makes profit. So like, they have to.
But
have
yeah,
money,
we
so
talked about
somebody
this
has to be watching
before.
it.
It's just like
Mhm.
those reality shows and shit are just like way lower budget than like
Right.
any HBO show, which is
Yeah,
why
you just throw
I
a
mean,
handheld on
they
a
make more
boat
money.
and call it a day. You know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
or
it's
just
become the
recut
deadliest
a whole
catch, like-
season of Deadliest Catch. Yeah,
And if you get
Yeah.
lucky, someone dies and you get fucking viral. You know. So,
Ratings.
Profit off their death,
Yeah.
man. Hell yeah.
God damn. I don't know.
That's
Yeah, let's
reality,
move on to the
baby.
next thing on our list.
Yeah. This is a bit of news that I wrote down, and I saw that it was rumored a few weeks ago, and now it is confirmed that Carl Urban is cast as Johnny Cage in the next Mortal Kombat film.
Interesting choice. I would
Very
say.
Yeah.
interesting choice. I know a lot of people upset. I'm very whelmed by it. I'm very
I think it's okay. I
I'm
like Carl
confused on the
Urban, but
decision,
like
but yeah.
I don't think that he's like Johnny Cage.
Right. I
I
figured
mean,
they.
everyone's
yeah.
he's Kano, right? He's
But I
obviously
also like I guess like seeing Billy Butcher from the comics to the boys, like I wouldn't have picked him as the
Mm.
person to pick for that either.
Yeah.
And I
Oh,
feel
this-
like he does a pretty good job.
Yeah.
does.
How do those comics compare? I didn't even know there was a comic.
I hear
Oh,
they're a
The
lot
Boys?
edgier and a lot
Yeah.
darker. That's all.
Are
I
they?
really
Yeah,
know.
probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is kind of hard to believe, but
Yeah,
Yeah.
like I don't know. I guess like from what I've seen, it
Mhm.
seems like Billy Butcher in the comics is like, yeah, is kind of like
Too
he's like
much.
toned down in the show. Like,
Right.
Right. Off the rails. Yeah.
Yeah, I think every character is, from what I know about that writer. But
I love
my
him as
biggest
Billy
worry,
Butcher, so
yeah,
What'd you
I'm. What'd you say?
I love him as Billy Butcher. So
oh
He's
yeah,
great.
Yeah.
I do
I
love
like him as an actor too. I mean, I'm excited if he can show me that side that I haven't
Yeah.
ever seen from him. You know,
Yeah,
I'm
that
down. Go
cocky
for some
Hollywood
crazy
fucking-
shit. I'm just worried he's gonna bring the Butcher, and if there's
Yeah.
any hint of Butcher, it's not the right character. So
Well, like
it's
Right.
even I remember he randomly played some character in like the third Thor movie that was like pretty
Oh,
much
yeah.
only for comedic relief.
true.
So like I don't know. I mean,
That's a good
I
way.
feel like
That's a
that's
good character
like
to point to,
similar
honestly.
to
Yeah,
Johnny Cage. Like,
it's like a
Sure.
gateway
Yeah.
that he can get to that character almost. You know, that
Mhm.
performance.
he
so.
was the gun guy, right? He has his
Yeah.
guns.
Yeah.
Texas.
Yeah.
So he can't be like gruff. He can't be too gruff. Like that's what I'm
Right.
worried
Right.
about. He's got to be up a little bit and more like
gotta be
A
a
little
fully
little
shaved.
bouncy.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, right. He's got to get the look
can't-
going too a
You
little
can't
bit.
just go around calling people cunts.
Gotta
and
do the
just be
splits,
cool with
nut
it.
shot. Like,
Fortunately.
Can you see Carl Urban doing that move? I don't know. It's just like
Yeah.
you gotta throw it in. Like,
It's-
I don't
yeah,
care
right?
if
He's
you
gonna do
CGI
it.
it. You
It's
gotta have
iconic.
it.
yeah. I'm excited that they're making a second one, honestly, because I like the first one enough.
I did
and
too. Yeah.
Yeah, me
Yeah.
too. I thought it was all right. It's fun.
I'm glad they're
It was
going
fun.
for it.
Well, I feel like
Um,
it's gonna turn into the fast thing, where it's like
God, I hope
it's
not.
over the
Go too
top.
I mean, you
long.
could,
Fucking-
yeah.
yeah,
I mean,
right,
there's fucking,
right.
I don't know, like 11, 12 Mortal Kombat
Games.
games.
Yeah.
There's so many characters and like different
And
weird
like, it's
worlds you
supposed
can
to
do
be a
in
new
that.
tournament each game, right?
Right.
Like,
Oh my God.
so
Yeah.
If you try reading the lore on Mortal Kombat, I challenge you to understand the lore of Mortal Kombat.
I
It
don't even
is
want to
a
try.
bitch.
I think it's understandable, right? There's like an
feel like-
Elseworld
There's so many
There's
like
so
much
similar
shit.
names though that I
Oh,
would just
yeah.
be like, wait, wasn't this guy in this
Even-
other game? Like,
Shang
Right.
Tsung, Liu
I'll
Kang.
try to
Yeah.
go through the wiki. It's like trying to go through the Dark Souls wiki, where you're just like, what?
Hmm.
How am I supposed to? I don't know.
These are
That's how I felt.
interconnected.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
nice.
Not
Well,
like-
yeah, we'll see how Carl Urban can do. Yeah. I was excited for like that tease at the end of the first one, so I'm glad they're continuing it. But I don't know. We'll see.
Money, money, money.
I'm actually excited to see it in theaters too, because the first one was one of
oh
those
yeah,
like
it was like during
release
There's
it
a-
from home. Yeah,
HBO Max
right.
release.
So I'll go see it in theaters for sure. Yeah, back
Yeah,
when
same with
HBO
the-
Max was a thing. The peak period of 2 years.
Yeah,
when
back in
HBO
the
Max
day
was
when
a thing.
HBO Max was a thing.
Yeah, right.
The glory days.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did see
Yeah.
the new Scorsese movie trailer also.
Did
Ooh,
not.
What'd you think?
But yeah.
It looked pretty good.
It's a Scorsese film.
I'm a little worried about DiCaprio's accent. It's not gonna lie, but
Oh,
I
you
hear
see his
it's
southern
a great
accent?
performance. It's like a little too outside, or like I don't know. He's not putting full effort into it from the trailer I saw, but I don't know. I trust Scorsese, and that's a very, I'd say, a bold story decision. This story for him to choose at this time. I don't know. I don't think this movie's going to draw in like the Irishman crowd, obviously, but I think it's going to be a pretty good movie. That's my theory. But
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
it'd be good.
I got good.
3 hours and like 30 minutes, right?
was it? I didn't remember the full.
shit.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember
It's-
talking about the runtime before, but I thought it was like
It's-
only like 3 hours.
He's got to
Yeah,
show you the full
only-
moon
yeah.
cycles, the
That's long.
flower moon.
I
don't
think
know what the flower moon
it's.
is.
I think it's licking the 3.5 hour mark.
I mean, I'm sure it'll be. I don't know. I'm sure it'll be.
It's an
wrong.
Apple TV movie, right?
Yeah, but I think it's
Is it?
releasing in select theaters, which it better.
Shit.
Man, I
I
swear
mean,
to God.
Yeah,
they
right.
have to like make it available for like Oscar. You have to do like at least like a 2-week run or some shit like that.
It's qualifying.
But I don't know. The streaming services should start doing that no matter what. Because I went and saw Glass Onion and it was such a good experience. And
Yeah.
there was a full theater. Like people want to go see these movies. You don't have to just get no profit from dumping them onto your service.
Yeah.
You'll get at least a couple $1 million back. You know, like I mean, I don't know.
3 hours and 26 minutes, and also Tina Turner died. So there's
I
that.
saw that.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Oh shit!
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
yeah, but yeah,
She was
3
like
hours and
80 something though,
26
so it was a
minutes.
long life. Yeah. I mean, I heard at first rumor it was like 4, so anything
Yeah.
below 4, I'm just like, okay, cool.
I
you know,
mean, in the right hands, I don't know. I mean, The
Mm.
Irishman was good and engaging for its long ass runtime. So
I still gotta watch
so.
that one.
I thought so too. Yeah, I really liked it. I thought it was like it was just good. Good story. Pesci and De Niro doing their fucking thing.
yeah, I mean,
I actually haven't watched it, but I should.
it's good.
But
It's
I mean, yeah,
Scorsese.
everybody's told me it's good.
Yeah.
You know, so I mean,
I mean, look at The Wolf of
Back
Wall
to
Street.
basics.
That movie
And I'm-
slaps, and it's 3 hours. So
yeah, like I feel like
Doesn't
there's a
even
lot of
feel like
movies
that.
that like I didn't even know were Scorsese. Like Wolf of Wall Street is, right? And I mean,
Yeah.
like the Departed is too, right?
Yeah.
Is Goodfellas
Yeah.
Scorsese?
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
all the
all
big
those
ones.
are fucking
Mhm.
bangers. So
Yeah,
like,
good.
Agreed.
Goodfellas, you got
Yeah.
Casino, Cape Fear.
yeah,
If De Niro's
Casino.
in it, it's probably Scorsese.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
But
Taxi
Yeah.
driver. I'd say too.
Raging Bull.
Man,
That's
Goodfellas is some
Scorsese,
good shit.
Raging Bull.
Honestly,
That's
now that I
amazing.
brought that up, in our next segment, that might actually be my pick.
That's
Oh,
the movie.
really?
Yeah.
I don't know. I
That's-
like it.
I mean,
I
that's
don't know,
a
it's
good pick.
movie.
That's like one of my mom's favorites. So
It's like look, if I had to watch one movie for the rest of my life, I want some variety in the movie. You know, I don't want it to be like
Yeah.
just stuck in one vein for the whole movie, you know? Like I want some like drama, I want some like feeling, but I also want some
Mhm.
humor, you know? Like I
Yeah,
don't
there
know,
you go.
like
that's exactly where I get my pick from, which is Pulp Fiction. I just feel like I
That's a
could
pretty good
I
pick.
could turn that on
Yeah,
at
that's
any
a good
point
one.
in time and just be like, nice. Like, oh, we're on the watch scene. Nice. Or oh, Bing Rames is getting fucked. Nice. And then you just go from there, you know?
It just naturally flows from there. You
Yeah,
know?
it's
Yeah.
great.
Nice. I didn't put a lot of thought into this one, but my first instincts were randomly Palm Springs. because if I'm forced to watch one movie the rest of my life, that's like a weird like
That's fitting.
Like
Yeah.
almost
balance of,
meta.
like-
Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and that movie doesn't really get old for me yet, so like it's one that I could like easily watch every time, you know, and
Yeah,
kind of just
for
flow
sure.
with it. So
It's a good pick.
I was torn between a Goodwill Hunting and Big Lebowski. Those are kind of
Lebowski's a good one.
Big Lebowski's a good one,
Lebowski
yeah.
is like, yeah, that's the same like kind of what you were saying. I could toss that on like anytime and fucking like have. But
Shut the
Goodwill
fuck up,
Hunting just
Donnie.
because of Williams, and that's just a good story. That fucking movie slaps. So
Nice.
yeah,
Good picks.
but that'd be a heavy one. That'd be like Goodwill
That's
Hunting having to.
and
yeah.
ring you out every time. Yeah.
Mhm, mhm.
My friend picked Kung Fu
It sucked,
Panda when
though.
I asked him this.
What?
Yeah, crazy.
Random as fuck.
yeah, like
It
to
would
be
suck,
fair,
though. That
like
movie's gonna be trash after a while.
my
you know, like-
actual picks. So the first thing I thought of was randomly Dodgeball, and then I thought a little bit more about it, and I'm like, I don't think I want to watch Dodgeball for the rest of my life.
Mhm.
And then I don't know, I couldn't really settle on that many good picks. But like I was thinking of actors for some reason, and then I was going through movies, but I should have like picked like directors. But I don't know. I ended up settling on the first Spider-Man movie.
Tobey
Oh,
Maguire.
I don't know.
Raimi?
Yeah.
Hell yeah, dude.
Good
Yeah.
pick. Good
Solid.
pick.
Yeah.
Solid. Yeah.
But now I
Good
might change it to Goodfellas. But I don't know. I think probably Spider-Man. The first Spider-Man.
Nice.
Goodfellas is good. I mean, for me, my most like rewatched movies are obviously all the Tarantino's, but outside of that, I mean, Scorsese, The Departed is one of like my most rewatched movies. I think
Oh,
I
yeah.
just pop that on and just
That movie's fucking wild.
yeah,
Fuck,
it's
that's a
good.
ride. Yeah.
Mark
Goodfellas,
Wahlberg
too.
comes in at the end. Those
What a twist.
shoe coverings.
Booties. Nice.
Good shit.
Shall we move into our TV talks? The
Leave
penultimate
that,
power
leave that in
hour.
the comics, guys. Leave that. That's a something. Leave that. What would be yours? That'd be a good comment to leave.
The one movie
Yeah.
for the rest
Yeah.
of your life.
That's
Yeah.
true, yeah.
You can only pick one.
You ever get a hankering to watch something? It has to be that movie.
Right.
So choose
That would
wisely.
suck, dude.
Right.
I would like not like.
You try to
movies
put
after a while.
something else on, it's just always that one movie.
it reverts. Yeah.
Yeah.
Golden touch.
Yeah,
Should we
so
talk some Ted Lasso.
yeah, this episode
Yeah.
after the last couple episodes, I really enjoyed this episode.
So
I feel like a
good.
lot happened and a lot of good shit happened in my
Dude,
opinion.
I teared up twice.
I did
in this
too.
one. I was
Nice.
like, yeah, good moments.
Got a little emotional there at the end. Too.
It's Ted and his mom. Ted and
Mine
his
was
mom.
Beard
Jamie
and-
stuff.
Beard and Nate.
Beard and Nate. That's
Yeah,
what
that
got me.
backstory for Beard.
Yeah,
Okay,
that
maybe
was-
there was
I like that reveal
teared up.
a lot.
I did tear
Yeah.
up a little bit there.
Yeah. I don't know. It's the penultimate episode. I guess I'm curious how you guys feel about the end of this one first.
Well, where it left Ted and Rebecca. Are we
I
gonna
mean-
get that, man? I feel like that's what they were.
I don't
pushing.
think
I
so,
thought it was
man.
pretty
No?
clear that he was going to tell her that he's not going to be
Leaving.
coach for the next season. Yeah, that he's going
That's
to
what I
be.
thought.
Gotcha. I was
It's
feeling.
like,
I, was
I mean,
thinking,
Yeah,
relationship
his
thing of,
mom
like,
said that,
Yeah.
his
But
son, like
no.
Henry misses him and shit. And I don't
Mhm.
know.
I fucking care
As
about
fu-
Henry.
"You abandoned your boy." No.
Bastard in a basket.
Dude, as far as Rebecca goes, though, I don't know, like what,
How she's
like,
gonna end her story.
or like with the daughter or the kid. I mean, like, I don't really.
She has a kid.
Well, like, no, like, you remember, like, the first or second episode, she went to the psychic
Yeah.
and said that, and the psychic told her that she would have a kid.
Uh-huh.
yeah.
Like,
You
I don't
can't
know.
always
I
trust
feel like a
those
lot of the
psychics.
psychic's shit did not come true, or like hasn't really.
It hasn't come. Yeah.
I don't know. Nothing really came of that. You know what I
Each
mean?
book.
Like,
Yeah. I mean, like
I
it's
don't
still
know.
up in the air here about what it means or who it will like point to. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
But also, I guess like the two Bex and the assistant showed up at her house. I'm assuming they're there because of Rupert, and they know that Rupert's been like cheating on
mhm.
them all.
Yeah.
Motherfucker.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I don't think they can end Rebecca's storyline with a man and end it satisfyingly anymore.
Yeah.
But,
Right.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I'm just
That's-
curious
yeah.
what they will do for her. You know.
mhm. I'm
That's-
still
that's-
on board for the Ted Rebecca because those two have the best dialogue not just like, oh my god, that was like the best fucking words I've ever. It's like they just naturally can talk and understand and care.
Good puzzle
I,
pieces fitting.
I don't know. It's like sure they're friends or whatever, but
Yeah.
that's
No.
just me.
That's just my hope. That was my optimism on that one.
I mean,
you
yeah,
know?
they left it open. Obviously,
But
they
yeah,
left it on.
I'm pretty
note.
sure Ted's gonna tell her that he's not
He's
coming
not
back the next year, and I'm assuming
For sure.
Nate is gonna be the new head coach.
Yeah,
I don't know.
They worked it in.
I feel like once Nate left West Ham, I kind of knew that he was going to come back to Richmond and be a coach.
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
But at the start of the season, I had no idea what was going to happen with Nate. You know what I mean?
How? Yeah, it kind of doesn't go like explosive. His
I kinda
storyline,
like
it's
what
pretty
he's
low
been-
key.
I don't know. Yeah, I
Yeah,
kind of.
yeah.
I don't know. I kind
It's
of like
subtle,
what
but
they've
it
actually been
works.
doing. Like, I feel like it. Yeah, it has been working.
Him
Yeah.
and his girlfriend, that seems natural. It seems
Yeah,
like a
that's
natural.
nice.
Like they work together. They're like they care. Like she's
Uh-huh.
she's moving pieces for him because she knows like what's good for him.
Right.
That
Mhm.
kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I thought Beard showing up the way he did for Nate too. When he shows up, it's like the killer note that they play at the beginning or whatever. Where it's like, oh my god, it's just Beard fucking like.
Yeah.
That was a great reveal. I thought also, but it made me laugh. But I just like was boiling down why I got emotional in that moment too, and like it was really smart. I thought to have like Beard be the one who gives us like the ultimate act of forgiveness for Nate, because Ted obviously is going to forgive him like the next minute that anything happens. So it's like we don't really have any dramatic work there for him to forgive, but Beard's the chip on his shoulder guy, and to have him be the one here at the end to kind of like give him a hug for us, it was, I don't know, it landed really well for me, so that was good.
Yeah. Same here.
Yeah.
A lot of poignant moments. I thought the Jamie, like going back to his mom and kind of like seeing some of his roots. I thought that was
Mhm.
like very
Yeah.
smart.
Yeah, I
really
feel
heavy
like
there.
like most of this episode was focused on Jamie, and I don't know. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah.
I liked
know.
his reveal. I mean, I think this is probably the Jamie Tart moment that we were all looking for, right? I mean, his goal or his comeback into the game and stuff like that. Like,
Diddy and yeah.
pretty sick. That save he had where it's like the goalie's out. That was
Yeah.
fucking sick, dude. That was insane.
Yeah, man. Love that.
But I liked how he's like looking for his dad, can't find his dad or whatever, and then it's like it's in that cathartic moment of like the goal, the celebration that we're all feeling it, and it cuts out to his dad. I think it's his dad, and he's like in rehab or something. It looks
Yeah,
like,
something like that. Yeah.
and he's
I
like
don't know.
proud, like that was a very smart choice, and they held it so long till that moment, so that the cathartic celebration was even more emotionally charged. I thought that was like really well done too. It's like they were hitting the right notes, in these moments. So it was good.
Yeah, such a weird change from those last two because I felt like those last two were kind of floundering for those moments, or like
Yeah.
really didn't know how to get to those moments for like Keely and
Right.
Rebecca and Nate and them kind of. Well, maybe less so Nate, but yeah, I don't know. Brought it home. Is that I'm leaning, or I'm understanding your point of view on this, Alex, because like those last two writing wise were not good in my opinion.
The last two episodes?
Lackluster.
Yeah, the one before
I
this
agree.
one.
Mhm.
I was like, they're clearly, directionless. It felt like. So
Yeah, which
does
makes me
that
think
make
like
this one even better, or is this just like an average episode that
Yeah, right.
Became better.
Yeah. So
No, I feel that
That's
because at the
true.
beginning of this episode, I wasn't like fully on board with it all because I felt like the Jamie Tart like overcorrection that's happened, where he's like so far on the other side of like being. It was like a fun bit this episode where he's like can't take credit for anything anymore,
Mhm.
but it's like so meta and so like outside his journey that we're like, I don't know. I mean,
it
Ted's
did
last
kind of
was
come out of
good.
nowhere.
yeah,
I mean,
Because I
found
mean,
it
like
believable
the
for that
last
reason
episode,
too, though.
he's like
I
so
really-
confident, like in himself still, like
Mhm.
and like then it just kind of just got lost out of nowhere. I don't know.
It's
Yeah.
too extreme, and it's for the sake of like the development, obviously, but like because they needed to like push him back to Jamie Tart a little bit, But it's like the way they went about it was so direct and like kind of forced, in my opinion. About
So not
I
really
don't know. Yeah,
developed,
it comes out of
just
nowhere, and then
happened.
what's
Mhm.
that?
Yeah.
So not
just
really
happened.
developed. It just happened.
I mean, like no, I'm saying like it's like it's like the culmination of his development. But it's
Okay.
so far like pushed that it just is like it's like they swung too far, and they are like commenting on how they swung too far. but they didn't like swing that hard. You know, it's like they got connection, but like they didn't. I don't know if I'm making any sense right now, but it's like,
Kind of think I know what you're saying. I
yeah,
think I'm on like the opposite side because I found it believable because I don't know. At the end of the day, it's humans. You know, humans are fucking. You can't account for that. You know what the fuck people are feeling or thinking. So I kind of get like I don't know. I didn't mind that as much because I was like, yeah, this seems like someone who like went through a change and is like good with that change, but now doesn't really know where to go from there.
the balance of it.
Yeah,
I like that. I liked I liked the decision. I don't know if I liked how it was presented. It was like too, and that's what Ted Lasso is good at though, is like they subvert your expectations because like most sitcoms are gonna like not have people say things, not realize things until like it's super convenient for the story. But Ted Lasso has them realize it and then deal with the repercussions through the whole episode.
right.
So like it's like well done because they dive into those things pretty well. I don't know. Maybe I was just feeling a little bit of like the backlash of like the last bits where it's like some of like the acting and character shit is like it's not being cared for, or like even the people acting it don't care as much. Like it's I don't know. I was just losing a little bit there with the Jamie Tartness of it all, but
Well, they said again this episode that they'll win the whole thing.
they
I
could
said
win the whole
line.
thing.
Yeah.
Is it going to be a big high or is it going to be a big bummer? And like a lesson to learn from, you know, that's, I don't know. I want to see the high. It needs to end on a high, I think.
I also thought it was I don't know. I guess I don't really have too much else to say about this episode, but I did like how the coach for Manchester City like went over to Ted and basically told him like the exact thing that Ted does to his team.
Yeah.
Like he just makes them the best versions of themselves or tries to get them to be the best version of themselves. I don't know.
Yeah.
Nice.
I really like that too because I mean, Pep, he's like a legend in
Yeah.
I figured it was
Like
like
that
the real
actual
coach,
guy?
right?
Yeah, he was
That's cool.
like part like he was on a team that basically developed like that's like how the modern play of soccer now, and then he became the coach for Man. You know, like his arc in real life. I don't know. Yeah, it was just nice. It was very poignant. It was cool to see him
That's
in there.
cool. Yeah.
Little
Yeah,
moment
that's
with
neat.
Jamie at the end. Yeah, it was
Mhm.
nice.
Yeah. I did write down another really good line. Because like when Ted Lasso lines are hitting, they're fucking hitting, and when they're not hitting, they're like, oh, God, okay. But this one hit. It was like sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. Most of the times you just tie, and like that was very
That's mom.
encapsulating of it's like very encapsulating of like humanity and obviously the struggle we all deal with, like communicating and getting our shit across. But it also encompassed this show, like what the characters think about ties in life, and it's like very wrapped. And that's a good line to me, is when it's like can take meaning in multiple different ways. And this one was like very compact about like the character and story with that line. So good job.
Thanks.
Good line, Joe.
Joe taking credit.
Yeah, that's. I mean, I don't really have much else. I'm excited for the end. Like I said,
Yeah.
it better end on a high. That's all I want. So
I think it needs to. Yeah.
Yeah, honestly, I feel like there's not too much else to tie up. And I was wondering if there will almost be I guess Rebecca.
that's it, really. I mean, right?
Okay.
And I guess
Keely /
Roy and
Roy,
Keely.
maybe.
I thought they were already like banging in the last episode, but like maybe
Just
maybe I
friends.
misinterpreted that because
No.
Roy came from like upstairs.
He was in her like a
in her
robe.
house.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they were definitely banging.
Yeah,
I
that's
just
right.
assumed they were back together.
They
like,
were.
Yeah, I don't know. Weird. Whatever.
Yeah.
I guess we'll find out. I don't know. At this point, I don't really even care. Like, I feel like their story for this whole season was kind of just fucked up. Didn't really
Yeah.
A
make
little,
Yeah.
lacking.
like honestly, if you took out Keely's storyline, like this season probably could have been 10 episodes, like normal.
Maybe. I mean,
Yeah.
you wouldn't have had any Keely, or it's like you would have tried to had to force another
Yeah.
storyline in or something.
I guess like
but
I just feel I don't know. Yeah, I guess that's right.
I get what
That's
you mean,
true.
though.
I guess I
they
just feel like
wasted so much time.
you could have like cut Keely's story in half. I don't know. They like
Yeah,
I feel like it was kind of unnecessary that you like to break up Keely and Roy. I don't know.
It was.
Yeah,
And also, if
for
you
sure.
want to save another episode, we can just take Henry out, like I've been saying, and that whole episode could be just gone. So,
Yeah.
pro getting rid of Henry still. So, a nuisance.
I had a question about that that idea, and it'll lead right into our next talk about Succession. Because would you say that the fact that Kendall has children is completely
Yes.
irrelevant to the story?
Yes.
Really? Because I think it's extremely relevant, even with the fact that how irrelevant they're making it. That's, I don't know.
Gotcha.
I mean, it's more
Yeah.
relevant than Ted's kids.
Mm.
Matt, I
Ted's
want you to
kid.
elaborate.
I just feel
About
like
Kendall's and the importance of places. Because
besides where it's
Kendall,
relevant now.
okay, well, Kendall and Ted, they're like, okay, I'll try to just talk about Kendall first, because he's a guy who is like spewing importance in what he's bringing to the world. I'm doing this, and most of the time it's because of his family and his kids. That's what he thinks, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Mhm.
and Ted's a protector,
Maybe not even
a
what he thinks,
nurturer.
what he just says.
He's
Ah,
convinced
it's just what
himself.
he's saying, yeah.
Yeah.
And Ted's like a nurturer, protector. He's a coach. He's like a person that is trying to like figure out, at least from the last episode with his mom and stuff like that. It's like he's trying to figure out how to be a dad and like to his kid too. It's not like it's in the background, and it's important still because that's who the character is. Like he's trying to be a coach. He's trying to be a father. I mean, I don't know. That's just kind of what I was thinking.
The only reason where I make it an exception for like Kendall having kids and his wife's story is that it kind of defined his character, because he comes into the
Yeah.
scene as like a recovering drug addict. Then that's what broke up his family, you know? So you kind of have that little bit of backstory. With Ted, it's just like, oh, you know, we find out his wife and him got a divorce and we got Henry, but we don't hear about them for
Yeah.
a season, and then
Sparsely dropped in.
it just
No, I
pops
feel like
in.
they're definitely more prevalent in the first season. They're not in the
Yeah.
second season, but
No.
they're heavily in the first season. I will say.
Yeah.
The same could be said for Kendall and his kids, because they don't really
But it's
come
true.
into play except for like holidays.
In this last season,
But
Mm.
yeah,
Yeah,
but
I
at
feel
the
like
same
they're-
time, since he
yeah,
was
they
a
do not
drug
show up very
addict, his wife was probably just, or ex was just keeping him away, and then he slipped back into the drugs again because he killed that guy. It just, at that point, it's just more of a character thing. With Ted, he doesn't really have much depth in his character, so even if they throw his wife and his kid in there, it doesn't really add anything because he is just surface level. I don't know.
I mean,
feel that,
I think
Wait.
that's just a criticism on Ted though, because like
Sure,
I think
yeah.
like his uber positivity is what broke up the marriage,
Sure.
and like we know that from like get go almost, that like his personality is what he's trying to figure. I don't know. He doesn't really figure out much, and that's kind of what my thesis on Ted is he's one of the unchanging characters in the show. Because he knows who he is, and he just kind of needs to know like how to navigate life a little more. I don't know. I mean, I understand. I think Succession places more importance on the children just dramatically, which
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
very successful because they're almost off screen all the time and like not actually important in the grand scheme of the story at all. But I think Ted Lasso does enough to make it like, yeah, he's got a wife and kid. I think he, like, if he just had a wife, he wouldn't be searching for a lot of the things he's searching for. I assume, but I don't know.
He
Yeah.
really wasn't searching for anything last season. Even, I don't know.
Well,
like
last
we
season
said,
was like a personal
A therapy journey,
panic
kinda
attack
more
type.
so.
Yeah. So it was like more on him that season, I'd say. But
I feel like,
I
you
don't
know,
know.
you can have incorporate his kid somehow. Like, oh, this is part of why you miss this. You know, you miss this kid. You're having these problems. It could have been
Yeah.
incorporated better.
No, I think you're right, Alex, because I think, well, I mean, first of all, Kendall is such like a complicated and conflicted character. Like
Yeah.
probably the most conflicted character in Succession.
Yeah.
And I would say Ted's like conflicted, but like I think also like at the end of the day, Ted kind of knows who he is and like how he functions in terms of like the group and the team and all that stuff.
honestly, yeah, I
Mhm.
feel like that's the main difference between these two characters. Because Kendall, like, I don't think ever thinks deep enough about himself to know what his actual motivations are. I mean, like, I don't even know if he knows what his motivations are, but Ted knows. Ted, like you were saying, Matt, like, I don't know, the character of Ted seems like he knows who he is. Kendall does not.
I think
Mm.
Kendall, because there's like he was going to be CEO, then his dad took it from him, and then he went off the rails. And I forget who he was talking to. Maybe it was Sandy's relative, the old guy. But he said,
Yeah.
"What's your end game?" And he said, "To be CEO." And like that was his who. The only time Kendall is when he is like in the CEO track. You know, it's where he
That's
finally
so-
feels like he has purpose. That's why I think he should. I'm rooting for Kendall essentially
Me too.
in this. I just think he's just the best fit for this.
Mhm.
It'll
Indeed.
make his character like complete, and I don't think Shiv deserves shit, and Roman
Yeah.
is just off the rails. So
You just can't
Dude,
handle it.
right?
Yeah.
Like at the end of the episode, when he like just runs out into
Yeah,
like
he's losing it.
Protesters
the
and stuff.
protesters, like
Yeah.
I'm like, what? Like
I'm waiting
I
for
don't
a
know,
death, man. I'm waiting for a death on the
I thought
show
so.
to like.
And like I
Right?
don't know,
another one.
man. Like yeah, I feel like
I mean,
this
it's
was
good though.
this
They're
was a
playing
good
with your
episode. Though.
expectations. This was one of the better ones for sure. I
Yeah.
mean,
After this
I was,
episode. Oh, sorry. Go
I was just talking to me and Noah talking the other day, and we were saying how about like good the writing is in this episode. It's fucking
Oh yeah,
nuts, dude, off the
man. Like
charts.
just like how it
The
starts
speeches.
off on fucking Roman doing his speech and how confident he is, like at the
Dude, that
beginning,
speech is
and
so
how
shitty.
how much
gets
yeah, I
shattered
know,
after,
so
yeah.
fucking bad. Yeah, like I don't know, man.
Yeah.
That his Logan's brother, I don't remember his name, but his speech was
Ewan.
like so fucking good. I
That
don't
was
know.
So
fantastic.
both of them
man.
were so
Yeah.
good because, and I mean, they just set each other up, like juxtaposed. They were
Wait.
so fucking good.
When you say both of them, whose do you mean is the as the
Kendall's
second?
and Ewan's, those
Do you
two.
think Kendall's speech was good?
Oh hell
I
yeah! I
liked
thought it
Kendall's
was
speech a
good.
lot too.
Wow,
Yeah.
personally,
Speech did
I thought it was
slap.
pretty obvious
Yeah.
that Kendall and Shiv like were talking out their ass. I mean, like
Oh,
Kendall,
I didn't think
like
Kendall was as
like at the
much,
beginning of
but-
Kendall's
Mhm.
speech, like he like repeats himself and doesn't like actually say anything for like 5 minutes. I mean,
That's
like
how Kendall just talks in general, man.
I don't know.
I mean,
I guess
that-
maybe it's
that
just a
light
difference
plus
in opinion. I
thing,
thought his speech
yeah.
was bad, but like
No,
I
loved it.
I thought
the
it was
main
like
thing
a
I took
clear
away.
difference. Like
Yeah.
I don't know.
The
I
main
think
thing I
that's
took away from it.
intentional though. The difference of like preparation and quality is there, but the ultimate like speech given was super successful to me. But yeah, go ahead. No,
I would just say, yeah. I kind of forget what I was.
might be
getting at there. No,
I mean, he basically said the opposite of what like his
Yeah.
uncle did.
Yeah.
right. You had to
He
like
said,
counter
yeah,
it.
he's a
little
shitty
bit.
person, but he gave
force
life,
thing.
you know.
Yeah.
So just
Yeah,
kinda
I
He's
don't
like this
know.
force and
Things
like
he
hey,
acted.
right.
Yeah.
That's what I really liked about it because it was like you're getting two sides of the coin here, and both are kind of like right, like in
Yeah.
their own respect.
That's
That's
why
what was. I mean, you're finding philosophy on. I'm personally, I was like trying to find my own philosophy on these
Yeah.
speeches. You know, like and where I
Yeah.
operate within them, and I was like on board with a lot of what Ewan said. And I was honestly on board with a lot of what Kendall said about like having the fire and like following it. And like
Feeling that.
sometimes you burn people around you because like but you shouldn't like stifle that, you know? And I
Mm-hmm.
don't know, it's a very enticing thought for me. And that's why I love Kendall as a character because I mean, those are modern struggles, I'd say. Like, and
Oh, yeah.
that's why Succession is great is because I can relate to them even if they're so shitty and terrible, you know?
Yeah. I don't know. I guess like all of Kendall's speech, I just got out of it like that he was just talking about money the whole time.
Yeah, it was nothing about like him. It was about what he
I
built
guess,
and
like,
did.
Maybe that is just like my opinion that I like my philosophy on life is more aligned with the uncle like
For sure.
than Kendall's.
I like believed more of what the uncle said, just like on a philosophical level of like
Mhm.
that view of like the world. I can't like disagree with it. But then I mean Kendall, the Riz, you know, the charismatic nature of Kendall and the fact that I did agree with like you're saying, fuel the fire, don't let that shit burn out, and don't be too concerned with who you burn because at the end of the day you're achieving something.
Right. Because I mean,
Yeah, I really felt that.
look where Logan went. Look at all the people that showed up there, all the people who stayed with him for these years. You know, I mean,
Yeah.
it had to be for a reason. Like,
Mhm.
sure, he was a
Full ass
motherfucker,
church,
but
man.
he gave them life. He gave them houses. You know, I don't know.
Mhm.
So
Provided.
Built careers. Fucking, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, great. Also great about Ewan's speech, the reveal of Logan's backstory a little more too,
Yeah.
with his sister and how
Yeah.
like he's always kind of blamed himself for the polio that took her
Yeah.
or whatever. Like that just added the anger level of Logan, like just made so much more sense a little bit. You know, like
Yeah.
And I feel like it was nice to get that backstory too, because like I don't know, you actually realize the struggle that Logan had to go through to get where he was, and
Mhm.
like you just see like night and day the difference between him and his kids. Like
Right.
the kids
Yeah.
like go up to do the speech, they're just so privileged their entire lives, like have no idea
Yeah.
what it is to struggle. Like
That
I mean,
came
Shiv
through.
and that's why
especially her
I thought
speech.
like at the end, like Roman running into the protesters, I feel like was him just like trying to like have like something to like push him forward, like
to
or
feel
like
something of like
I don't know,
Yeah.
like because like
he's running into like oblivion of like that's why I thought like he could be dead or like I don't know, he might be like out of the family now? Is that the signifier that he's basically rock bottom out now, kind of like he's
No,
not
'cause
in?
I
I
don't
was thinking
know.
about that from like where we started with Kendall, like season one. You know, like at the end of the day, like there's the family and a lot of all the side characters, but I feel like it's still just like Kendall's story. I feel like
Yeah.
we've been following, you know what I mean? Like
I
he is the
mean,
main guy, and
Shiv is a
Yeah.
hugely important character to me, and if Shiv won this, I wouldn't hate it because I think
Mm.
she's shown along the way how capable she is outside of the business. Like not just like she's good at politics, but like she operates within this foundation of like shitty society successfully. She's about to be the last counter to Kendall, basically, in this last episode. It's like Kendall versus Shiv now, like.
yeah.
The only
So
difference I think
she's wielded the power, but yeah, go ahead.
the only difference I think that would make it less satisfying is just because it doesn't seem true to Shiv, like her especially making this deal with Mank and how she's like been on the hate train for him, but she's so willing to get in bed with him just for what? To
She's
say
cold.
fuck
She
you
doesn't give
to
a
her
shit.
brothers.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
I
mean,
just feel
she's
like
just as
Kendall
lifeless and
actually
shitty as them.
right, but I feel like with Kendall's character, like I said, this is like his dream since the beginning was to take over the mantle, and
Mhm.
I don't know. I just feel like he wants the company to be a successful thing. He deep down
Yeah.
he wants it to be successful, and he wants what's best for the company because he just wants to make his dad proud. The other kids, like
Yeah.
Roman, wants to be like his dad, and then Shiv is like just wants.
Yeah, even that first
Yeah.
scene again,
The
like back
respect
when,
of
like
Dad. Like that he
he
had.
like
I can
when
add
he's
to that.
practicing his speech in his apartment, like Roman,
Yeah.
then he's like walking around. He like looks at himself in the mirror and just like scratches like his like face because he's got like the same facial hair as Logan. I
Mhm.
don't know. I
Yeah.
just feel like that was like I don't know, good
Hmm.
cue
Good
basically
moment.
that he's just like
Yeah.
trying to emulate Logan.
Yeah.
For sure. And the election shit, I think that was very true too.
Mhm.
What would Dad do? Dad give a fuck, so I don't give a fuck. Yeah, I'm gonna do with that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But Logan
But
always was so strategic with everything he did. That's the
yeah,
difference between him and
calculated.
Roman. Roman just
Yeah.
fires off, off cuff, and then Logan is always just thinking. So
No, I think that's a good point you made too, Alex, was like it feels like this whole time Kendall has been doing this for Kendall, pretty
Yeah.
much, at the end of the day. Where it's like Shiv, it feels like I don't think Shiv she has the same fire and the same like drive, but I think it's more of like to like prove that she can do it to
Right.
other, it's like more to like prove that she's capable and that she's a player.
Maybe.
Which,
you
I mean,
know?
that's why I think her and Kendall are pretty. They're like two. They're not
Yeah.
the same, but they're on the coin. Like
Yeah,
I don't
For
know.
sure.
which
Yeah.
is fine.
I guess,
I
like-
just feel like if Mencken is the one like in charge, if I just don't think it goes too much against what Shiv's beliefs and ideologies are.
Yeah,
Is
and just identity. I mean, you see it with her and Tom. It's like there's
Yeah.
clearly like very close, close emotional ties between them still. They
right.
Yeah, but
clearly like care for
she's
each
so
other.
shut
on the
down.
level.
Like she's talking about how she's not gonna like care for her kid. She's not gonna see her
It's
kid.
fucked up.
Drinking
She's all
and shit.
business. Like
Yeah, bro.
I mean,
I
that's
just-
like the ruthlessness that makes me think like that character deserves it though too. Is like she didn't give a shit. She'll sacrifice it. Kendall lost his family this episode. Basically, Shiv does not give a shit about her family. Really, like
Yeah.
that's. I think Kendall in the end is going to be the winner. If there's a winner, I don't think he's going to die anymore because I think that would just be it. I'd be fine with it. But I want to see something shocking and
I
final
want
in this.
somebody to die.
I just am worried that like Kendall sitting down in a CEO chair is not going to be like enough for me to be like, that's Succession. I mean, maybe, but like,
it might for
if
me.
it's done well. But
Yeah, because I like the idea that Kendall's like alone, but like
he sacrificed everything to get
Right.
the ultimate fruition of his journey, which is I think it will end that way, honestly. But it's I don't know, just a little predictable, I guess. But
I did read this
Sure.
thing where so it goes through with Mencken, and then Skarsgård's character picks a CEO, and he picks Greg for CEO. So for the American
Oh,
CEO.
shit.
Like I was
Yeah.
saying
Greg.
earlier,
That'd be
yeah.
awesome. Yeah.
that's the ultimate fuck you to like the fans and the. I mean, it's not a fuck you because when I first started Succession,
Wow,
it was like kind of a jokey show, and I was like, I want to see Greg at the
Yeah.
top, and I said
Yeah.
that, and like,
Yep.
like it wouldn't. And I mean,
for the memes.
Wow. I mean,
That would
he
never
would
work.
definitely have like gone the farthest though. I mean, like, have you seen
Yeah.
Greg in the first episode?
Yeah,
I
he's
mean, like,
puking out of
dude,
a
totally fucking different. Yeah,
mascot
puking
costume.
out of a fucking mascot costume. Yeah, I don't know, just wild.
Just
I
don't
mean,
think,
because he's
like-
so different now. Like, and
Yeah.
I would not want him to be the successor, but
I think it would destroy a lot of the integrity of the show if it happened, honestly. But
Yeah.
It would.
it would be a fun end, that's for sure.
I mean, if
yeah.
if we're going to like best fit, I think again Kendall, just because his dad had that struggle and got what he got. You know,
I'd say
his
Tom
daughter
would be the
or
best
his
fit.
sister died, and then Kendall goes through this somewhat struggle. I guess you can call it rich boy struggle, but like
Yeah.
he's kind of involved with somebody's death in some sort of way, you know, and clawed his way back to reality after diving back down. So I don't know. I just feel like it's just a better fit. I just want Kendall to win. I just feel like Shiv is just nasty at this point. She really put me off this episode. Turning on.
I still like her.
So, okay, so like
Her
you
speech
liked
wasn't good,
Kendall's
though.
speech. Okay, that was what I was gonna ask. Because I mean,
Yeah.
like,
Hers was like, I need to
hers
say
was
something
obviously
too.
bad,
Yeah.
but like
She
I
was
don't.
like, I gotta
I
get
guess
up
I
there
didn't like
so
either of
Lincoln
them.
sees me. So
Yeah.
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 I think like also she was the one that mostly talked about like her dad the most too, where it's like I sat outside his office. It was so cool. I didn't know what they were doing. That's where I was like cringing a little bit. And then she's
Mhm.
goes into about how like his light shines on you or something like that. And when you're in the light, it's like the best.
most
I don't know.
amazing.
She had good moments, but overall it's just like I need to say this to fucking get my face out here.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Mhm. Yeah.
for sure.
and then no Connor speech. I was like waiting for Connor, man.
What
Like,
the
and
fuck?
he's the only one
Yeah.
that came prepared with it too. Like,
Yeah.
I love when
F
he's
you.
like, they're talking about how he got a deal on the tomb that he has, and then he's like, come in, let me show
deal.
you around.
Yeah.
yeah.
$5
good
million.
deal.
That's a good
Million.
deal.
I was like running it through. Is that a good deal though? That seems like a shit deal, honestly.
Right.
Yeah.
But
I wouldn't mind a top bunk. No.
yeah,
Yeah.
Fucking awesome.
a lot of good
I'll
lines
talk to Will,
too.
but
Yeah, I was really into the cryogenic stuff, but I wouldn't mind the top one. Yeah, I liked a lot of Kendall's lines too. I mean, he's like kind of amassing his crew here, so that's what kind of guides me to him winning in the end too. But I really like Hugo as a character.
Yeah.
But his line to him, like, yeah, you're gonna get the scraps, but the scraps will be millions. And he's woof woof.
Yep.
Yeah.
Fuck,
I
that's good.
audibly wooed after he said that.
Really?
It was good. I was like,
That was a good line, man. I like that.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Kendall's been so laser focused on it after Logan died too that it's hard not to like see him there.
Yeah.
Where it's like it's like maybe less so, like Shiv and Roman, I still believe that they're going to be in it family together,
I just
So
I love that, Kendall's been going around whipping people up, and they're all like, yeah, this guy gets it. And then Roman
On
goes up
board.
to the one, Frank, I think it was Frank, somebody, and he's just like, hey, I
Yeah.
want to put a team together, and he just looks at him like, and he's like, oh, all right. We didn't have this conversation. So it's just like,
yeah,
what, again, just showing that Roman just doesn't have what it takes.
Nah.
on the pole, yeah.
But
I
yeah,
also thought this was one of my favorite Skarsgård episodes. He was okay, and I like him. I like the character, and the performance is pretty good. But for some reason, this one he just kind of opened up a little bit more.
Yeah.
As like the performance or kind of like the availability of that character or something. It was just I don't know. Yeah, he just shined in all the other characters too in this episode. So.
Yeah, to me, I love when this show, to that point, I love when the show like shows you that, like Mattson, Mencken, Kendall, Shiv, like they all have this fire to fucking get there. They're all like they all share those similarities of like
Playing the game.
Yeah, we're gonna fucking like fuck whoever over to get here. We'll
People
play it.
that love you also fuck you, end up
Yeah.
fucking you or something.
Exactly,
That's
yeah.
what Kendall said too. Something.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think that's really cool because it's just like draws comparisons between characters, and that makes you think. That makes you like your allegiances sway. It's like, oh fuck,
Right.
like it's very smart.
it was also nice to see that Kendall finally told Roman that he fucked the dog on this one, because
Mhm.
Roman was like firing everybody, and Kendall's like, yeah, fucking
Yeah,
roll
like you
with
fucked it.
So nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then this time he's like, you actually fucked it.
You-
He's
you
like, "What?
fucked it."
No, I didn't.
Mm.
So
You
it was
did.
refreshing that somebody was finally like, hey, Roman, you fucked the dog, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nobody can tell him that except for his older brother, really. Like,
Yeah.
so
I don't
that
know.
was
Believe
nice.
it.
Yeah.
Finally.
Did you guys also notice that there was a Star Wars line in this episode? My ears just like perked right up, dude. Hugo said it. He's like, "These are the droids you're looking for."
Oh, yeah,
yeah,
I'm the
yeah.
droid you're looking for.
I'm the droid.
Yeah.
You're looking. Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't. I mean, I've just. I think I said it before, but there's like Star Wars references layered in the show, very subtly. But if you're listening for them, and then last thing I thought was really smart about this episode. One of my favorite moments was Logan's ex-wife amassing all the ex-wives
yeah.
or whatever, ex-girlfriends,
The whole room.
and having them all sit in the same row. I thought that yielded a lot of like good moments and good character shit there. And
Mhm.
probably the
Would've
last
hated
time.
this. It was good.
Yeah, and the actress who plays Carrie, she's I don't know. I think she's gonna get a lot more roles after this performance because she's got like an emotion, like she was about to cry when she was like thinking she was gonna get kicked out or something like that.
She couldn't get that anchor job.
Yeah, right. She's not good.
Rough
Yeah.
reads. Yeah.
I don't know. That was a good moment. I liked a lot of that back and forth there. So
I don't know.
It was definitely good.
And
man,
Next
you think this one's gonna nail the
finale.
landing though? What's the consensus?
I
feel
think
like
it is.
Toss up.
Yeah.
I don't know. 50-50 in my opinion.
Yeah.
I think it'll nail it like in a story sense. I'm not so sure it'll nail it in a dramatic sense. That's kind of where I'm
going to
standing.
take any risks. I think it's just going to play it
Yeah.
safe.
Right.
Safely
And I'm kind of
land,
worried about that.
Let everybody exit.
And then I mean if it is safe,
I want Kendall to die.
I'm ready, man. I'm ready. He deserves to be drowned. I mean, all the imagery of him in water,
I want him to go
drowning,
back to
floating,
London and just crash off a bridge.
plane crash. Yeah,
Or yeah, plane crash.
yeah, bringing like Logan on the plane and the water. It all is thematically tied.
I hope it I hope it cuts at the end of the episode to Logan just on some beach somewhere.
Yeah, he's like,
yeah.
those fucking
Maybe escape.
shitheads. Yeah,
That'd actually be fucking sick. I'd be down for that.
yeah,
Like,
the ultimate.
And just like destroy the company, and then he's just chilling on a beach somewhere.
Hey, we
Yeah,
haven't really seen a
cashed
body
out.
yet, so I mean, it's possible.
That's true.
Roman was like, is he in
He's
this?
in
Trust
there.
Connor, like
Speaking of though, that was a great performance. That scene, when he's like breaking down Roman, he's
Finally
like, he's
grieving.
in the coffin. Yeah,
Yeah.
I previewed. I'm good.
shit. Well,
Yeah.
like what I wrote down, because like when he's prepping the speech originally, like in the first scene, he's like going around his apartment, and he does this thing where he points at Logan, like the body, and he's like, "Take it away, Dad," or something like that.
Yeah,
And, like it's just weird, like the mirroring. So like he doesn't even want to be in the room, like fucking up.
you can't reference it.
Room, like
Yeah,
I don't know, just like
that's weird.
Yeah,
I mean, that dude has a psychological.
Yeah.
Like the way he like comments on
Very
Shiv's
obsessed with,
pregnancy
like-
with like a sex joke is like
yeah,
Well,
it is
that
so
kid.
far removed from reality.
yeah, that's weird.
Yeah.
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 All right. Any final comments? Or are you guys good to move on?
I think I'm good. I'm excited
Yeah.
for the end, man. What a journey! This show's been fun to watch. Definitely.
I feel like I'll come back to it eventually. I feel like it's a show
Honestly,
I'll
I think
revisit
I'm-
eventually.
Well, it's probably just me personally, but I think I'm ready for it to end.
Yeah.
It's not a show that I would watch forever. I don't think,
Yeah.
Mm.
or it
And
would
I
definitely
mean,
lose its luster.
I
So,
also like binged the first 3 seasons too, and then started watching this new season. So
Yeah.
nice.
I don't know.
You want to talk a little Barry, Joe, for a bit?
I'm down. Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just this of all the 3 shows
Yeah.
here that are like penultimately
Well, like,
ending.
have you two, Noah
This is
and
the one I'm
Alex,
the
have
most
you
excited
guys?
for.
I mean, like, do you
About
care if
catching
we
up
talk
this
about it?
week.
I mean, because I don't want to spoil anything if you,
Yeah.
that would, but otherwise
I
I'd
feel
talk
like they've
about
had
it.
their chance, right? I mean,
I'm
one
good with
episode away
whatever.
now.
All right, what
No, I
do
mean,
you guys want?
I'd
we'll try
rather
to-
talk
about it,
Panic
just,
Room,
try to give no
but
spoilers.
Not talk about it. All right, we can talk about it next week. You
Well,
want to binge it all?
Right.
I mean,
I'll make a deal. I'll binge it all if we can wait to talk about it. I'll have it
Yeah.
ready to go by when Thursday next week.
Thursday.
Thursday.
Right.
Okay.
Or we could just
can do
talk
that.
about it real quick after.
That
Yeah,
was
that's whatever.
my
I'm just
thinking because
very excited.
yeah, I just
Yeah.
know it's gonna take a
Yeah.
minute. So.
How about? Yeah, I guess. Well, who
I
is
got you.
who's doing the stream? Is it you, Alex, or is it Matt?
That's Alex this time. of
Ah,
course.
shit.
Yeah.
All right.
That's
well,
cool.
yeah.
I was wanted to say that like of the 3 shows that are all penultimate ending here, Barry's the one low-key one that like is the most exciting for me at the moment. And it's
Honestly,
kind of
me
weird.
too. Like,
Yeah, it's cool.
I
That
don't know. I
show
feel like the last couple episodes have just been like so many twists,
is
or
good,
like,
man. And
yeah, like
this one is the one I don't know how the fuck it's gonna end at all because they just literally threw up all the pieces and like
Mhm.
they're ready to like land
so
now.
many
and it's,
different sides have formed. Like, I don't know.
yeah, it's cool,
It's
man.
just,
It's
yeah,
good.
like
I like it. But yeah, we'll talk next week then.
Yeah.
We got to get all these
I-
finale talks out of the way
I'm
too.
down.
So
Yeah,
We'll catch up, I promise.
Yeah, I'll
Scout
try to
time.
get
you
It's-
fucking better. Oh,
it's
also
a lot
next week
easier
we'll have to
than you
be on
think.
Thursday too.
Yeah, Thursday
yeah,
next week. But that binge is a lot easier than you think. Like for Barry,
yeah.
those episodes.
Yeah, and they're
Yeah.
only 30-minute episodes. It's
Right.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
really not bad. You can
Yes.
fly through that shit.
Hell yeah.
All right.
Well,
should we?
one of you said you had to watch season 3, right?
Oh, that's me. I mean, I'm about 4 episodes deep, so
Hey, if you can do it, you know.
I'm practically done. I'm practically caught up.
It's not that many. Yeah, it's only like 8 episodes or something. So,
But
yeah. Should we get into our director's dive then?
Yeah.
yeah, sure.
To the Fincher
Right.
machine.
This is Director's Dive number 5. Welcome back. If you're keeping up with our Fincher, now we're plugging in the Mean Green Machine, fucking Panic Room.
Yeah, I saw your review on
Oh
Letterboxd.
shit! I thought we were
that was
watching
funny.
Zodiac.
I'm just.
swear.
I want it. I want it.
The editor
That's
came
next,
in
though,
and
right?
he was like, "Hey, Mr.
so.
Fincher, how green do you want this?" And Fincher was just like, "Yeah, make it."
You know the
Do it.
Hulk?
He's like,
Yeah, that green.
"Well, but how green?" He's like, "Have you seen the Grinch? Have you seen the Grinch?" I don't know. Anyway,
His
that
skin
bothered me
pigment.
right off the bat.
Really?
Anyway, the Panic Room, or just Panic Room.
Choice.
Sorry, Jodie Foster, Kristen
Yeah.
Stewart,
Young
Young
Kristen
Forrest
Stewart.
Whitaker,
Young ass.
Dwight Yoakam, Jared
Leto?
some old
Cornrows,
guy.
Jared Leto?
What a star-studded cast.
Yeah, those cornrows on Jared Leto. That was weird.
What a choice.
Another choice, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Jared Leto, man.
Man,
What do you guys
Uh,
think?
how did you guys?
This is new for everybody, isn't it?
Yeah,
Personally,
no one's seen this
viewing.
one. Yeah.
Yeah, I hadn't seen it. I guess like of the Fincher movies we've watched so far, I'm gonna put this at the bottom of my list.
Yeah.
Below Alien 3.
All right, it's tied with Alien 3 for now.
Wow.
Right there.
Okay.
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 I don't know about the rest of you. I don't know.
Let's go
No,
around
I
real
gotta
quick.
do that.
Round robin.
Nona?
I didn't rank it, but yeah, if I had to give it a ranking right now, probably like 3 stars. Not,
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
Man,
Okay,
that's not
okay.
bad.
it's not my favorite of his.
Matt?
Yeah, I thought this was pretty good. It's definitely not perfect. It's definitely not that great.
Very contained.
It's middle Fincher. It's definitely better than the game. 100% better than the game,
think
I'd
so.
say.
Interesting.
Yeah, maybe, yeah.
Because I would put the game ahead of this. I don't know.
Really?
I feel like
It's fair.
maybe it's because I wasn't paying attention as much as I should have been. But like, I feel like there were just so many things about the story that were just like too convenient.
Like the guy who built the safe coming to rob the safe, or what? That's too
I'm-
convenient for you?
I'm
Well,
with you
look,
there. This is
For one,
below
how
the
many
game
home
as well.
invasions actually happen?
Oh, you'd be surprised.
I
I
don't
mean,
know the
yeah,
stats.
there probably happen more than I think. But like, I guess like just like
This is 2002.
statistically, your
Joe,
house,
also.
your house. Yeah, I guess that's true. I don't know. Just like statistically, like your house getting broken into, and then also like the odds of like your house getting broken into the first night you move in, and you also have a panic room, and your daughter is also diabetic and needs insulin at the
Yeah.
same time
Which
that
is
your
just fucking
house is
thrown
getting
in
broken
there,
into.
by the way.
Right after
Yeah.
you've moved in. Like,
Yeah.
For
I
sure.
mean, like, I'm not a diabetic, but like, did they explain why she needed her insulin, like in the middle of the night? Was it just because she was like
Was she,
anxious
like,
or in her blood
using a lot
sugar
of
like
energy, I guess,
spiked or
yeah.
something?
Yeah.
Because,
Because like
Yeah.
otherwise, there would be no reason why she would have needed her insulin in this situation,
Mm.
which was kind of a big part of the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, this
There's a
movie
lot of.
sucked. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh yeah.
I'm glad.
I
Glad
I
somebody's
was
on my
so
side.
pissed off when they're all 3 of the Yahoos are down on the 3rd floor, and they're trying the busted ass phone of Jodie Foster,
Mm.
and then doesn't think, hey, I'm gonna run out and get the phone that's on the fucking charger. Instead, she waits till they're all upstairs, and she's like, oh, let me go grab this phone out here, and risks it all to run out and get this fucking phone, make a bunch of fucking racket, not look under, like, even try to reach for the phone. She's just like, I'm gonna look this way and reach the opposite direction
Fucking
and try to
hate
get this
that
phone.
shit.
Flashing
constant,
a light
like-
outside of this fucking thing, they finally get the guy's attention, and instead of continuing to flash the light, they throw the light to the side and then start shouting. It's like, what? Are you fucking joking me? I don't know. The amount of times Jodie Foster's character just made stupid decisions.
Yeah,
was
just for the convenience of
mind-blowing.
the story. Like,
Yeah.
I thought she
feel
made
like-
smarter decisions than the fucking robbers, obviously. So
that is
No.
true.
I disagree.
what? Like
Forrest
what?
Whitaker-
Okay, the one dumb decision that I was like, holy fuck, that broke reality for me is when she lit the gas coming into the fucking room, because I was like, wouldn't that just explode you all? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe not, but because it all just like captured at the top and then zoomed out through the vents or whatever. But I didn't really. What other moments? Because I couldn't really pinpoint
The phone
specific like.
moment, the flashing
Those-
the light
they're all-
moment,
they're all
the
downstairs.
diabetic moment. Sorry,
The diabetic moment.
when
well,
the
like,
daughter
that-
just
she
is
had to leave.
miraculously diabetic, so they have to have a reason for him to get out of the panic room.
Well, yeah, I mean that's just screenwriting. I mean, the person who wrote this,
I
is
guess like
a
that's what I
writer
meant.
for hire.
Like
kinda
what I
guy.
was gonna say, I guess, like it happened in the game a lot, where you just put things in, like as conveniences to make it more like like to build suspense. And I feel like that's like kind of a shitty way of going about making a thriller. I don't know.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, you set a premise like this though, and you aren't really allowed a lot of like room to do much else. I think like the biggest weaknesses I got from this movie are the like intercutting of like pace, because like a lot of the times when they're like running, they should be able to get up the stairs, but to meet, it's like the things weren't checking out geographically for me, you know, even though like the whole house was basically mapped out for you.
You mean the
The
structure?
timing.
Yeah.
What's
Did-
that?
You mean the structure of the house didn't match up?
No, the structure and the geography, I was like, okay, you walked me through the house, you got me through the elevator, you know, like all this shit. You set up the panic room, set up the panic room. You know what I'm saying? Like with dialogue and setup, it's like all there. It's just like when the running breaks out, the pace immediately becomes disjointed, because like they like running and then they stop at the bottom of the stairs because they're like listening. And it's like, because they need a little more time for Jodie Foster to do a little bit in this room, you know, it's like, that's what got me. It's
They're,
like that's
hitting each other.
what's
Real.
up.
They're just like up the stairs, you know. I mean, like it's like
Yeah.
10 steps up.
Yeah.
The stairs.
It's like, why did you stop? Yeah, no, it's like you just needed time and you needed that timing to work out. So those are the only real big weaknesses. There's character weaknesses throughout, but a lot of this movie was like pretty coherent, and the characters felt a little more fleshed out than most just standard suspense movies for me. And I cared about a lot about the two main protagonists. I thought they were pretty good, honestly. The people robbing them, yeah, you know.
I actually like I liked Jared Leto in this movie, guys.
He was doing it.
He was doing his thing as
Smoking
weird
crack.
and yeah.
Crazy shit.
I don't know. I
Yeah.
feel like he did a good job with the part he needed to play. Yeah.
Right.
Right.
Like he played the chaotic fucking like dumbass
So, like,
asshole.
What actually was in that safe that they were trying to get in the panic room?
money.
It's like money bond or like, yeah.
I guess
Yeah.
like was that Jodie Foster's or from the other
It's
person?
Jared
previous
Leto's
owner.
relative. I think it was his dad
Right.
or his granddad that he was going to
He's
inherit the
gonna
money
inherit,
from,
right.
but he wanted it
like,
all.
I guess
Right.
I didn't know why that was still in the panic room if it wasn't like Jodie Foster's. Like
It was
why?
a secret compartment or whatever that they didn't know about or some shit.
Yeah.
Whoever cleaned out the house.
But why
I
would
guess-
Jared Leto know about it if he's the fuck up? Like who
Yeah.
his
His
uncle
old
just
grandpappy
trusted
told him.
Right.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Crack
Like, I
addict.
get like
He's a crackhead. He'll find a way.
Like you need them to get into the panic room for some reason. So like I understand like why they did that. And like that makes sense. It makes it a more thrilling movie that they actually need to get in the panic room and they're not just like trying to murder the people. But yeah, I feel like that
Mhm.
probably could have been down a little.
Yeah. I mean, that's where the convenience kind of kicks in for me, because when you first learn that Forrest Whitaker is like the guy who made the safe, a lot of like bells were ringing of like, why? Like, why is he here? Like, why is he trusting this clear shithead, a dumbass? Like when he's the smart guy I'm supposed to be following, you know? Like,
Yeah.
so that the blurring of that kind of, I feel a little bit of that, but
Yeah, I mean, I think that's you guys kind of touched on before with the pacing and like things moving weirdly, and yeah, it's the same with the game. It's like when characters aren't like moving the plot forward, but the plot has to move forward, so then the characters move. It's like it just doesn't work for me.
Right. And it's not as impactful.
It
Yeah.
just it felt like the whole time they were in the panic room, Jodie Foster just wasn't thinking. And then when she was outside of the panic room, she's like, "All right, I'm gonna knock out all these things. I'm gonna do this, that. I'm gonna break the mirror so I know, where they're at when they're walking." I don't know. It just felt
I mean, like, also though, I guess like if you're just some random person in this situation, I mean, like, how would any of us react? I mean, like, we might make some stupid decisions too. I mean, like,
Yeah, and that's
fair.
why like
We're
the
just
tracking
people
of it
out
was all kind of there as
Yeah,
like
but-
you have limited options this whole time, and these are the things you have to like.
mhm.
I
like
feel
I don't
like
know. Any of us could make mistakes in the same situation. You know
I
what
also
I mean? Like,
yeah
I just don't
that's
even see like a
true.
lot of mistakes though either. That's what I'm like kind of like
I
wondering.
get that, but like the first thing I thought when she was staring at them in the monitor and they were all three talking downstairs about what they're gonna do, the first thing I thought was, why didn't she just open the door, get the phone, and go back in the panic room? You know? So that's
Yeah.
why I was
I mean,
they were-
like,
Well, she had when they were talking all downstairs. When was this?
Yeah.
Was that when
That's
she runs
when I
out?
before-
first got there.
Yeah,
right at
yeah,
the
yeah.
beginning, and she got her
When they're like
daughter
banging underneath and shit, trying to break
Yeah,
the floor.
and they
Like,
were,
why would
like-
you not do it then?
plotting, and they were like 2 stories beneath them or 1 story beneath them. She could have just ran out, got the phone then. That's why I was like, why didn't
Yeah.
she do it then? Why did she choose when they're right outside
Like-
her fucking door when she can't even see one of them? She was like getting ready to open the door, like, no.
Yeah.
I will say too, like it didn't even like really matter when she did get the phone because she
No.
didn't get service in the panic room. So like
Yeah.
I guess like you could have thrown that in at any point to build
Right.
suspense.
No,
So I
for
mean
sure.
like
I kind of was disappointed at that
Yeah.
moment because as a like what this movie clearly was like a writer trying to hit dramatic moments. I was waiting for her to get locked out of the panic room and like be hiding outside, and they
Yeah.
don't know she's out of the
Yeah.
panic room. I was waiting for like
Especially
a little
after they
more.
lock the
Mhm.
house down. It's like,
Right. So she's trapped now outside and they don't know that. A little I mean, I don't know. She gets out, gets all the drama from that juicy moment and then gets back in the panic room. So it's kind of disappointing on that end for me a little bit, but
I just
yeah.
also, I mean, I know this is way back when, and maybe cell phones weren't the same, but you can still make an SOS call even when you don't have service. So
yeah, I don't care about that. I mean, they're in a panic room that's like clearly
I-
boxed up.
well, like you want to
Yeah.
elaborate a little bit on that, I guess.
I'm pretty sure
Like even back in
when-
the day, could you make an SOS call
That's what
from
I
any
don't know.
phone?
I don't know if it was different back then,
Nokia.
but I know if we don't have service now, you can still make an SOS call.
Look, I mean, realistically, she's got a cordless phone, right?
Yeah.
So at the time in 2002 or whatever, for those cordless phones, they have a base like somewhere in the house.
Right. Which
So
was
like,
right outside the room.
well, like yeah, but if it can't connect to the base, even then you're not going to be able to get any signals out at all.
True.
So like, yeah, I don't know. I don't think that would actually work. I still don't think that would
She
work.
just didn't know, was it a cell phone or was it a home phone?
I thought it was a home phone.
That was a cell phone.
I
thought
it
it
Oh,
was
looks
a
like a
yeah?
cell
cell
phone that she
phone
was
to me,
charging.
but-
That's
Shit,
what I
but then
thought.
maybe.
I
Shit,
don't
I don't know.
I just think the whole phone situation. You buy a fucking like a fucking sweet ass pad like that in New York with a panic room. Like, well, why would you
Hook up
not
the
set up
phone.
the phone in there? Yeah, like
Oh,
that would
it's
be
like-
the first fucking thing
Gotta
you
save
lock.
a
I mean,
couple
that-
pennies where you can, you know?
Yeah, I don't know. It's like the gripes I keep hearing are about like setups of like script work. You know,
Okay.
it's like
Yeah.
How about this gripe? So they take the time when they're showing the house. Also, their realtor is just a straight up bitch. I mean, just your realtor screaming at your child.
yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
granted, yeah, she shouldn't be riding the scooter, but that's not for the realtor to do. Anyway, but he takes the time, the other realtor, and he's like, "Don't worry." He sticks his hand in front of the door and it stops the door. Dwight Yoakam gets his fucking fingers severed off. Like, why would you take the time to show us that you can stop the door with your hand at any moment, and then Dwight Yoakam's hand is like caught in the door?
Reasons. Yeah.
Convenience.
Yeah.
I just
I'm assuming he
I
missed
don't know.
Louise or whatever the fuck.
it never popped up except for when they're getting in the panic room. She moves the pillows so the door will close. That's the only time it popped
Yeah.
up to where it mattered that there was something in front of the door. Otherwise, Dwight Yoakam's fingers just got fucked.
So I guess
I
like
thought
what
that moment
else
was
like
so
you guys
different.
like what other good things did you like about this movie? Not that I'm trying to shit on him. I mean, I guess I'm just trying to get away from just shitting on this movie.
For sure.
Yeah, I thought the camera work was pretty solid. I thought there
Me
was some
too.
fun stuff that they were doing cinematically. That was cool. There's like a lot of like hidden cuts early
Yeah.
on. I remember just like that
Yeah.
one that's kind of going through the levels of the house and like, you know, when they first break in and she's laying in bed and it twists and like that kind of stuff.
He was
Yeah, I
definitely
thought like
having fun.
good decisions there. Yeah, kind of
This is like the
experimenting.
first taste of like his actual style, I'd say, kind of for me, where it's like very smooth, very free flowing, or it's just on
Mhm.
sticks, like almost no shaky cam. I don't think in this movie,
Yeah.
and that's
No,
Fincher's
yeah.
doesn't really go for that after a while. So I was seeing a lot of like first flavors of like
Yeah,
choice
sure.
here.
Mhm.
So yeah, that's
felt
cool.
intentional. Yeah.
And some of those shots too, you can see Fincher kind of messing with CGI a little bit in this
Yeah.
movie. There's like the phone on the floor and like the gun being. It's like they're pretty
Oh,
decent
yeah.
shots. And with the one shot you're talking about, Noah, where it's like 1917 cutting basically, where it's just like moving one
Yeah.
shot and then it's
Goes
blending
from
the
the
next shot.
keyhole through the coffee
Yeah.
pot up the
That was
stairs.
sick. That was
cool.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah, through
Yeah.
the kitchen. Yeah, that was sweet.
For sure.
I like that one a lot.
And I think the major highlight for me, that what brought this one home for me, like I said before, was that the character writing was a little bit more impactful than some other suspense or like home invasion movies that I've seen.
Yeah, I kind of liked I don't know. I thought Forrest Whitaker's arc, or like I don't know, his little like his character development, I guess, or if you want to
Yeah.
call it that, was
was-
actually like pretty okay. I mean, like
Yeah.
It was a
him
nice
actually like
reveal.
turning, because like right off the bat, you know that he's not there to hurt anyone. He just wanted
Mhm.
what was in the safe, and he didn't expect anybody to be there. So like,
Right.
I kind of liked at the end how he kind of like saved them, because like I don't know, he turned out he's just like some dude, like he just happens to be a burglar, you
In
know,
a
but he's
for
not
sure.
trying to like hurt
situation.
people, you know.
The last shot you see of him before that moment is like him slipping, trying to like run. Like his foot slips off like the pavement, and then the next time you see him is in the house. He's decided to come back, and I thought that was pretty effective. Like
Yeah.
just to get there, and the ending for him, fucking Kubrick reference, like it. I mean, that was like the killing, basically, that whole
Killing,
ending.
yeah.
So
Oh yeah.
yeah,
Oh
I mean,
shit.
that's crazy. But yeah, I
I-
mean, I just want to get into like why I liked the two character, like the Jodie Foster Kristen Stewart dynamic was super solid, and I was kind of worried that Kristen Stewart wouldn't be able to like. I was just worried I was going to be taken out with her performance, but it actually helped.
Where did she go wrong? I feel like she became so bland as an actress, and in this one, I was like,
I think
very
she's a pretty good
compelling.
actress still.
She
but
got the
yeah.
chops.
She's
just
good. She's
went
got
through a
the
Twilight
personality.
stink. That's all.
Right. She had to
Yeah,
kinda
maybe that's it.
find
Yeah,
her
that
path.
soured me for her. Yeah.
It's just like Pattinson. Just a Twilight stink, but that dude, best actor of his
Come out the other
generation.
side.
True.
Yeah.
True.
But just like their dynamic, it's like you can see some of the things that they're both struggling with because they're like related, or like they both have the same issues of like anxiety or like handling their emotions and stuff like that. The first moment of writing that got me was when she pours the coke for her, and they have like a little cheers moment. It's like these two are kind of like equals. That I don't know. It was a lot of like work here where she's like, don't worry, mom, they don't bury people alive anymore. It happened a long time ago. And she's like, really? It's like 20 years ago. It's like years ago. That's like not a long time ago for Jodie Foster, but that's a real line. You know what I'm saying? Like a kid would think that, so like that's kind of the things I latched onto as far as like, it's doing a lot better than like I expected here, so.
My highlights were Kirsten Stewart and Jodie Foster's dynamic, which was good. Jodie Foster's character made a lot of stupid decisions, but their dynamic together was pretty good. And Dwight Yoakam was fucking awesome in this movie.
I liked him a lot.
Really
Yeah.
good.
His
Yeah.
presence added a lot
Fucking
just in
Raoul,
general.
man.
Fuck
That's
are you?
Raoul. I'm Raoul. Yeah, it was fucking. Yeah. The only other thing I've seen Dwight Yoakam in is Sling Blade, so.
I've seen him in Wilfred, final season of Wilfred, and that was
yeah?
kind of it. So
Never finished that show. I should.
it's a good show, man. I like that show.
Those were the highlights for
Um,
me. Just I guess, like you said, the characters were like at least the saving grace. It's just the story, what they had to do to get it to certain places was just like it could have been done better. Like
Fair.
the flashlight
like-
thing really pissed me off. Like, why would you stop flashing the flashlight and start screaming? No one's gonna fucking hear you. Also, for a safe room to have so many potential exits, like, why would you put the wiring and stuff just right outside behind drywall. Like that's your weakest point to get into the safe room, and you're just gonna put it behind some drywall and a pipe that goes straight outside in your
So
safe room.
obvious.
Yeah.
Fuck
The
off.
thing that got me was
So
it's like
over.
the whole time they can't communicate with inside the panic room, but then like 3/4 of the way in, there's a intercom button that goes into the panic room, and
Yeah.
Forrest Whitaker made the panic room.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
like,
He said they can't hear you, man. Yeah.
yeah, he doesn't know that. Like,
Yeah.
that got me, but
Yeah, because he's the one who specifically says that she can't
can't do
hear
it.
you.
Yeah.
The guy who fucking
Yeah.
installed it. But
Yeah,
but
I
Jodie
also think-
Foster figured
Yeah.
out how to do it. So
Yeah, the robbers were, I think, supposed to be incompetent a little
Yeah.
bit too, though. Like that's
Yeah.
part of the
That's
shtick.
Jared Leto's whole thing, I feel like.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like they could have smashed the cameras. That was like one of the first things you would think of, and they didn't.
glad-
Honestly,
they said that in the like when Dwight Yoakam looked at it, like, why didn't we fucking do that? It's like, thank
Right.
you. At least you realize you're
Yeah.
stupid. Jodie Foster
Right.
hasn't come to Jesus yet, but she'll figure it out. But
Yeah, because like they,
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, I think all around, like yeah, like you guys are saying, the characters were probably the best part of this movie. Yeah, I think like those things that we were talking about, like conveniences just to move the plot forward. I think like realistically, there's just not that much you can do with this plot. Like,
yeah, for sure.
yeah.
Like I think they
It's
did
tough.
the best with what they had or could
Mhm.
do. You know, like I mean,
It's just a
I don't
very
know.
contained suspense that
Like,
really
I-
doesn't have a lot of avenues for
like
it.
even
know,
if you
so.
swapped out some of these like situations with other things to get to the same place, like I don't even think it would have been any better. I think it still would have turned out about the same. You know,
I
like,
feel
That's
like
fair.
I mean, I get that the panic room is the central focus because I mean it's the name of the movie. But like the house was so big, it could have been more of like a cat and mouse type thing too. Like the whole idea of listening to the footsteps was kind of a cool thing.
Yeah.
But like you said, Matt, it just took out the suspense when they were like 3 steps away and they would take the time to listen and then go. It's just it could have been used better to where,
Mhm.
like I said, it could have been more of a cat and mouse where they're trying to escape, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Big ass house, and we're stuck in a little ass panic room. So
Yeah. I think this is one movie that was probably sold on like, I mean, it's 2002, so this is kind of more of like maybe people were talking about panic rooms more, honestly, but also like the words panic room that like sold this movie, I think. Like
yeah.
so really you have to build out from that, and that's probably what we're all kind of experiencing, So,
Mhm.
I mean, it's not as bad as Alien, but
no.
honestly, I think I don't know. Between this and the game, I don't know which one's worse at this rate.
Nice.
I think
Wow,
the game.
so you're
I
putting the
think
game below Alien 3.
No. Oh, sorry. No,
No.
Alien 3 is below the lowest in a game. That's the bar.
Gotcha. Okay,
And
because
then,
like,
the panic room and game both kind of piss me off in terms of like
Yeah.
it just with the game it was like who I think I've said this you they make you commit suicide and you offer to pay the bill. It's like giving them the bullet to the gun they're gonna shoot you with. Anyway, that's just silly. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I guess the game might be lower than Panic Room at this point. That one just makes my blood boil.
I
I think it's a little bit worse for me, but that's just me. This one, I mean, this one's like tighter. It's like more premise based and like execution based. So like,
Yeah.
I guess
I mean,
it's a little better.
altogether, it was definitely a cooler one. I mean, like I said, he was just having fun with the camera, so it was at least exciting in that respect as well. Just the cool oneers that he was doing. So
some stuff to take away, but
yeah.
no, I
Sponsored by Sony as well. If you guys didn't notice,
Evian water.
yeah.
yeah.
Every time you see a camera or a TV, it's like Sony. Like
I mean,
Sony.
Sony does make some good shit.
Hey, sponsored by Sony, baby.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Sony.
Yeah.
Like, all
I'd
my
give it like
headphones are
3.5.
Sony.
I think it's like
Really?
it's not great. It's not terrible. It's pretty good.
I can't
So I
remember
bet-
if I put 2 or 2.5.
I'm probably gonna give it 2.5.
Yeah, somewhere.
But
around
that's
there.
just me.
Fair
I have
enough.
Alien at
It'll be
2, the game at 2.5, and this at 3. I think that's I don't know. That seems fair to me.
We're moving on up, and then we'll see what he can do next.
Or
Zodiac,
pop the fuck off. Yeah.
I'm hoping that like all this hype isn't gonna like bring Zodiac down for me a little bit, but
I refuse to let
make
it.
a movie. Yeah, all right.
This
It's gonna
movie-
capture me, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's so good.
Again.
Fucking awesome.
There's a
All right, well,
little
yeah.
hiatus,
Cat
isn't
Mouse.
there, between this one and Zodiac.
Yeah, it's like 5 or 6 years, I
Yeah.
think.
Oh yeah,
Maybe-
because Zodiac I'm pretty sure it's 2007,
Yeah,
Mm.
and this was
and this one was
2002.
2002.
Yeah.
2002. So maybe he had to take a little refocus here and kind of
Yeah.
start out
Yeah.
his next
Yeah,
career
I think you
path.
guys nailed it. Where it's like fucking skyrocket, fantastic, stinker.
Crazy,
You
man.
know,
It's just hit or miss. Yeah.
yeah,
In order perfecly
Yeah.
to be like
yeah,
the wave.
it's
Yeah,
weird.
it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, join us next week to talk some Zodiac. It's gonna be a fun talk. So
Yeah.
thanks for watching.
Like, comment, and subscribe, you dirty bastards, if you haven't already.
We know who
Sorry,
you are.
I shouldn't call our audience dirty bastards, but
They know.
Hey, Disney's been doing it for a long time,
They know.
and it's kind of working for
Yeah.
them, I think. So
yeah, underhandedly, yeah, they have.
Are we going back into the dunk segment?
No, I can't go back in the corner. I can't go back in the
It's too
corner.
dark.
yeah, can't do it no more.